You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
So the final match of the Super 8 stage of this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championships features the Atlanta Lightning versus the Philadelphians, captains Unmuk Chand and Jonathan Fu. Third umpire Shane Samuels. The toss will be spun by Jonathan Fu. The call was tails. Umpire. It is a tails, Mr. Unmuk Chand. You have a sheepish grin on your face. What do you want to do?
He'll bat first.
Tell me why.
The wicket has been played on. I think it's the same game, so third innings. So I think it's going to get even tougher going into the fourth innings. So I feel we can put up a good score, and it'll be good to defend.
So from this stage on, you're essentially playing for pride. How important is it for you to end this tournament with a victory?
Well, obviously, whenever you play, it's you play to win, and that's what the focus is on. And obviously, we can take some positives going back. We've had a good season going so far. Unfortunately, couldn't qualify. Last two games didn't go our way, but I think it's always good to finish on a high. Get some runs, take some wickets, do something special on the field, and obviously it helps you carry on into the next tournament.
Fantastic. Best of luck.
Thanks.
Okay. So Jonathan, you're going to be bowling first. What would your preference have been had you won the toss?
Yeah, we was going to take a bowl first as well. We get a chase. Judging from the result from the next game, I think we still might have a chance. It depends how it goes, but it's still out of our control. But worst case scenario is last game for us. There's a lot for us to play for. We started the season well, and I'm hoping for us to finish well. So.
To that point, there is still a chance. However slim a chance there is, I'll let the statisticians figure that out. But that that chance begins with you winning this game. So how do you win this game?
Yeah, we chase it. We try to finish the game as fast as possible.
Okay. Simple as that. All right, best of luck. All right. So the Atlanta Lightning winning the toss and choosing Unmuk Chand to have a bat.
And the Atlanta Lightning clash, another Super 8 game. With the news, Lightning have won the toss and they've elected to bat. So the Philadelphians are fielding And welcome Brian Walters for another game, final one of the day on field number 1. And this one a very important game for the Philadelphians. They do have a chance in this series. But the bad news for the Atlanta Lightning, a win here will certainly not be enough.
Yeah, the Atlanta Lightning essentially playing for pride in this game, Lenny. But as a professional athlete, you want to give the best of yourself every opportunity that you get. And so you'll be looking to get yourself into a good position, put some good game on tape, as they say. Captain Unmuk Chand leading off as the opening batter. I think it's fair to say he has not had the year with the bat this year as he did in past years, but he's still, as they say, form is temporary, class is permanent. He's still a classy player and somebody who you expect should be able to push on and put something big on the board. So leading off also with Mark Parchment.
So both batters have, in particular, Mark Parchment has really been good. And so he will face the first ball. And the left-arm spinner, Raj Nanan, has been given the ball, so he will start. And so the Philadelphians will take on the Atlanta Lightning. With the news, Lightning have won the toss and they've elected to bat. So Raj Nanan will start. A very important game here for the Philadelphians. They'll be hoping that if they win this one, Brian, and if Cavaliers is to get past the Atlanta Fire, it serves up a bit of interest between all of the teams in the Atlantic zone.
Certainly a less than ideal chance, but any chance whatsoever of them ending up in Dallas on Sunday in any other role than tourists will involve them winning this match. And so, and not just winning, but winning by a pretty large margin. So they will be looking to put the foot on the gas sometime immediately as far as this match is concerned.
So ball played into the offside. Mark Parchment has been held on a very tight rein here. We've seen a very good start from Raj Nanan. So strike. That's a lovely shot from Mark Parchment over the offside, and that has gone away for 4. That's a lovely shot from Mark Parchment.
Well, Lenny, you're not only getting credit for some wickets this weekend, but you're also getting credit for some boundaries. Yet another example of commentators' curse, hammered over the top of extra cover. Look at that shot replay. Good looking drive over the top of extra cover. And 4 runs off the bat to Mark Parchment.
So the Philadelphians, from time to time, Brian, will try to muster their folks to come down and see the game. And some of their players, some of their supporters have made the long trip from Philadelphia all the way to the big state of Texas. And so the likes of Daniel, Theron, and Mark want to say welcome to Texas. They have come to see their team play, the Philadelphians. And irrespective of what happens, they're here to watch good cricket and then to take in the final.
And that's exactly the point. Say more after this ball, well, after this over.
So ball played up towards the offside. The first over comes to a close. And after 1, it's 4 for no loss.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go Rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
So 4 without loss. And Drysdale has been given the ball. Drysdale has been sidelined for a couple of games, but he's back in the side. And he starts with a very good delivery to Unmuk Chan. So 4 for no loss, Brian. And the campaigns of the many teams that have made it to the starting line at the start of this 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, Brian, gets thinner every round.
That's exactly the case when you're playing in sort of an elimination type tournament. It all comes to a crescendo at the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium in Grand Prairie, Texas, this coming Sunday evening.
So Chan gets off the mark with 1. Drysdale would be quite happy to be back in the side. He comes in place of Soripul Islam. So much to play for still, Brian. Personal pride, a chance to up your stat as a bowler or a batsman.
There's no question, because to the extent that you are putting games down on film, you're making a good account for yourself. You're making sure that people know what your capabilities are. Later on, as we progress through minor leagues and then major leagues, all of these games count toward what the scouts are taking into account when they're looking at you. It all makes a difference. And so it's not just about making it to the finals, even though the Grand Prairie Stadium in Grand Prairie, Texas is a fantastic facility, world-class cricket facility, but it's about more than that. It's about making a good account for yourself, making sure that you go out with your head held high.
So Drysdale will continue, will come into ball to mark Parchment. And Parchment is driving straight up to the captain, Jonathan Fu. Can't score.
Yeah, Drysdale has missed his run-up a couple of times. Just looks to be struggling a little bit. But when he delivers, loads up, almost reminds me, years gone by, of somebody like a Joel Garner. Comes from a very high arm angle and just explodes through the crease, generates a lot of momentum from his shoulders. Look at this, right there. Oh my goodness, that is going to go for 4. That was almost a spectacular catch taken at point. A diving effort there by the fielder at point. That is Aditya Sharma, the U21 player. Got his left hand to it, but not able to pouch it. But a brilliant effort nonetheless.
Yeah, Parchment has been quite fluent this season. A bit of an uppish drive. Very good attempt from Aditya Sharma. Was never going to be an easy catch, but it would have been a spectacular one.
Yes.
And Brian, you're right on that. I was beginning to try and think which bowler I know that usually comes up so slow. And because Joel Garner was such a tall, fast bowler, they used to call him Big Bird.
Big Bird.
And that bird they're referring to is not a physical bird. They were talking about planes that you refer to as bird. They take their time sluggishly and they get up. Oh, that's a short one from Drysdale, just testing the deck.
Well, if you have this pace, you have to use it sometimes. And look at this. Oh, good short delivery. Now, maybe you want that ball going over the top of middle stump, because with it being that far outside off, Parchment choosing to leave it alone. Had he flashed at that easily could have carried over deep third for 6.
So Drysdale bowling with some bit of heat here. The second over comes to a close. It's 9 without loss.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Raj Nanan will continue. Seen a very good start. They're going at just about four and a half runs and over, Brian, and so we've seen a tidy over from both of the bowlers so far. Raj Nanan for 4. Drysdale gave away 5. And Unmuk Chan, who's been among the runs in previous year of minor league cricket. And he has really set the bar pretty high, and on a bar that he hasn't been able to get close to this year in 2023, but we know he's a classy player. And he picks up his second run. It's 10 for no loss.
Really classy player. A couple of years ago and last year was at the very top of the heap in terms of runs scored in the minor leagues. Just truly performing really well. Didn't have the same amount of success this year. Switching from the Pacific Division into the Atlantic. Played a couple of years with the Silicon Valley Strikers, and then this is his first year with the Lightning. But again, a classic player, somebody who, regardless of what the results were for this year, knows that he's just a brilliant, brilliant batter.
And Brian, that's one of the beauties of watching batters on display, batters plying their trade. You look at a batsman, for example, Norman Anwar, and you know he will probably try to score boundaries. And you look at a batsman like Unmuk Chan, and you know he's gonna want to get boundaries, but the strokes involved, two distinctly different batsmen, still getting 50s and 100s, but they're a treat to watch when they get flowing. Oh, that's lofted in the air. Goranshu Sharma comes in, well judged catch, and Mark Parchment is gone, 12 for 1.
Yeah, looking to attack and committing the cardinal sin of playing across the turn, the lefty turning the ball away from the right-handed batter. So you're probably, if you're going to play a big shot into the outfield, you need to be looking on the offside, maybe go over extra cover, or maybe even cover itself. But this time he drags it down toward long on, and a little bit of turn, dragging it from outside that line. It's hitting against the turn, so you won't get much power there. And that time is a pretty easy catch taken in the deep. That is pouched very easily by the fielder out there, Goranshu Sharma. And the first wicket goes down, 12 for 1.
So Drysdale will continue. Aaron Chenchu comes to the middle, but Unmuk Chan will be the man on strike. Into the onside, falls in front of Shiro Bhatia. And that came very close to allow Drysdale to pick up his first wicket.
Inducing a false shot that time from Unmuk Chan, looking to force it off the back foot, almost just gives mid-on a really simple catch. Unmuk Chan not quite getting control over that one. Luckily for him, it falls short of the man at mid-on.
And Brian, as a fast bowler yourself, we've seen Drysdale been on the bench for a couple of games coming into this phase. What he needs to do to impress the selectors that he belongs out on the playing field?
You need to establish a stock delivery. The stock delivery is the ball that lands on off stump or just outside the line of off stump, maybe a fourth stump line, just short of driving length. Everything is based off of your stock delivery. So sliced away for 4. That's going to be 1 bounce and over down to deep third for 4. So you'll take those runs if you're Unmuk Chand. But back to your question. You have pace, yes, but you have to be able to land it in exactly the right spots. This one here is entirely too wide, which gives Unmuk Chand the opportunity to slash. And anytime you give that much room, then you're providing opportunities for the batters to score runs. So that consistency is what you need to establish. And then any changes based off of that pace is what you can do. You can go short, you can bowl Yorkers, you can do all of those things as long as you establish your stock deliveries.
So looking for a couple of runs. Bhatia will come around, but not in time. And so a couple more runs here for Unmuk Chand. And in terms of probably coming up and taking wickets here, Brian, the wicket of Unmuk Chand could be one of the prize scalp in your analysis. A good wicket to get.
Certainly a good wicket to get. Number one, just on balance, he's probably your best batter, even though the results have not yet been there as much this year. But it's always good to, quote-unquote, cut the head off the snake, because he's also your captain. Oh, whipped away in the deep and falling in front of that man at deep square leg. Unmuk Chand living dangerously. Almost twice in this over is already almost giving away his wicket.
Yeah, we've seen Abdul Jabbar. And how many times, Brian, we've seen in cricket when fielders are waiting for bunks. Ball in the air for some time and probably should have made a better effort to get to the ball, but in the end, Drysdale, he's looking to stay in this team, and one of the ways probably you can stay in this team is to get wicket.
That's exactly right. And again, I hate to keep repeating myself. That consistency is what I want to see from him. Oh, see that type of ball, if he bowls that 4 out of every 6 balls in his overs, he'll be in much better shape. Good over. 4 overs gone, 19 for 1.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So 19 for 1 at the end of 4. Raj Nanan will continue. 2 overs, no made, 1 for 7. And we talked about Drysdale trying to impress to be part of the starting 11. Raj Nanan has always been a sure pick, Brian.
Raj Nanan is a very effective left-arm spinner. You know he's good because you're bowling a left-arm spinner inside the power play overs. Oh my goodness, a big wind-up by Unmuk Chand, looking to give us catching practice out here, but hitting across the turn. That is what got his partner in trouble, Mark Parchment. And this one missing, but had he gotten any bat on that, that would have gone straight up in the air.
It's a good start from Raj Nanan. First over gone for 4. Second over for 3.
Oh.
Into the offside, can't score. Deveshwari Prasad is the fielder. And so a couple of good balls. We've seen the approach here from Unmuk Chand to go big, Brian, in the last couple of balls. Here is Raj Nanan. And it goes into the onside. Ryan Scott, he's quick. Oh, he gets onto the ball. Always a 120% effort from Ryan Scott.
Well, you said he's quick, which is almost redundant because Ryan Scott is from Jamaica. So you know that he's going to be quick. That just goes without saying. Do I even need to point that out? Ryan Scott, brilliant opening batter. You'll see him later with the bat in hand. He's a left-handed batter, but a strong fielder anywhere on the field that you put him. And really excellent that time to keep that damage to 2 runs.
So good over here from Raj.
Back to 1 run. My apologies. So he saved 3 runs there. Oh, heads up.
So this time.
Coming right in this direction. Hey, what a beautiful catch taken by Zubin Surkari, the former Canadian international. Pouches 1. And I think that's worth a spectator's catch. I think you get a free lunch tomorrow, sir.
Play of the day. Play of the day.
I hope we got that on the camera. Zubin Sarkar with a really good catch. Another who tries to repeat the dose says this is catchable. Oh, landing just short of the fielder coming in from long on. But, ooh, I hope to get a replay of that if we could, if Roddy could have us take another look at that. That was actually a clean catch, probably the cleanest catch of the day. Here we go. Looking at the replay, lofted in the air. In fact, this may be the ball that just landed. Here we go. Yep, right there, taken by Zubin Sarkar. And then the arm, no less. Excellent work there. Ooh, almost a run-out opportunity there, but they sneak home with no trouble. So that is the end of over number 5. A little bit of a frenetic start in that over, but still a relatively sedate start as far as the score is concerned. 28 for 1 after 5.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Prashad comes into the attack. He replaces Drysdale. Drysdale 2 overs, no on for 12. And they're going at 5.6 and over. We've seen a couple of big shots in the last over. One that went into the hands of Zubin. And this one into the offside. So early bowling change here, Brian, as the left arm seamer comes into the attack.
Saw him bowl yesterday. I think I like a lot of what I see about him. Generally keeps it in the right lines and the right lengths. He's not as quick as Drysdale, certainly nowhere as tall as Drysdale. But what he does have is consistency, and he lands it generally in the right areas.
So ball pulled into the onside, catch taken. And so Unmuk Chan falls for 12. It's 28 for 2.
Well, what he does best, Prasad, is not what happened there. He bowled a short delivery to Unmuk Chand. On most other days, on most other years, Unmuk Chand would have blasted this away for 6, but he only succeeds in finding long off, on that mid-on rather, and that is Drysdale at mid-off. He is very tall, and so he's able to take this above his head. Had it been a shorter man at that mid-on position, that would have gone over him for 4, but in fact it gets pouched. Second wicket goes down, 28 for 2.
And Brian, I was asking you the question, what Drysdale needs to do to find himself in the starting 11. What about fielding and catching?
Fielding and catching, there is no substitute for fielding and catching. Tell you what, you can go through lean spells with the bat. You can sometimes have it not coming out of your hand well as a bowler, but it is every bit within your control to be a good fielder and a good catcher. So those are the things that eventually help you solidify a place in the side.
So Jesse Bhutan comes to the middle. And he comes in, they're batting at 28 for 2, the Lightning. We saw a team that came into the tournament with so much promise, the Atlanta Lightning.
Oh, gone for all money. He would have been gone for all money, and I'll tell you what, they could have gone to either end there because both batters were in the middle of the pitch looking at each other. Either end there, if you hit, you get a wicket. But unfortunately, it does go, that wicket goes a-begging, and boy, I want to see another replay of that because he would have not even been within range of those stumps had that ball hit.
And one of the rare times we've seen fielders missing, wrapped on the pad. There's a big appeal. Brian Kane not impressed. And you look at Brian Kane, Brian Walters, where's the camera?
He's not wearing the camera today. So when it's hot outside, maybe you take that off because you don't want your clothes to stick to you, and that harness probably helps it with that effort. But this delivery for me is probably slipping down leg. bowler. Plus also the left arm seamer that there's every chance is actually pitching outside the line of leg stump. And you can't be given out LBW under those circumstances.
So he guides this one away, passes the slip area, and that has gone away for 4. So Aran Chenchu has gone up to 11. It's 33 for 2.
I will tell you that I believe, I'll have to confirm on the replay, but I believe this is intentionally open in the face of the bat. Take a look at this replay. And we'll see it here in a second. Yeah, just definitely. You see him guide that ball, just steering it out of reach of the keeper. And that goes all the way for 4. So that's a good piece of batting.
He looks to be a very attacking player, always looking for runs. Into the onside, looking for a 2. Drysdale has a long way to run. It's Abdul Jabbar who slips. And they were always going to come back for 2, Brian Walters. 6 gone. It's 35 for 2.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So 35 for 2 at the end of 6. Nanan will continue. Jesse Bhutan, he's on 1. He's just come to the crease. We've seen a fine knock so far from Aaron Chenchu. And such early into this game, Raj Nanan is in his 4th. Oh, that's swept away nicely. Rajdeep Darbar runs back, but it's Drysdale who's had a lot of work to do, not only as a bowler, but he's been in the field quite a bit.
After Raj Nanan, about to finish his spell, 5 more balls remaining, 1 wicket and 17 runs conceded, a left-arm spinner bowling inside the power play. Those are brilliant returns from somebody who is asked to come in and just keep things quiet. But as a left-arm spinner, turning the ball away from the righties, that's exactly what you want to have happen.
And you look at Aran Chenchu, Brian, you get the feeling that he's a very attacking player, always looking to score quickly. We've seen him already with some attacking shots. Into the offside, a very safe shot. He knows his area. And just up and over into the offside, not too hard because he realizes that there's a man at long off.
That was deliberate. You see him check the shot. Didn't go through with the full power, just lofting it over the top of the circle to make sure that he gets that single and does not overhit the ball so as not to give a catch to that fielder at long on. You gotta be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. He gave it away there, Bhutan. There was no run there. It was just hit right directly behind point, and the fielder was no more than 10 yards away, wanting to take off running down the wicket. Essentially, that was suicidal. So absolutely no way that there was a run.
So Jesse Bhutan goes, is 37 for 3. Good bit of work from Deveshwari Prasad. Just getting the relay on pretty quickly. Let's take a look at this, Brian.
So you'll see this ball played into the backward point area. Oh my goodness. Takes off running. I'll tell you what, that might have been some inexperience. And I have to say, the youngster Aran Chenchu actually takes off running, looking for a run there. So maybe that's what Jesse Bhutan was responding to. But then they both realized that there was no way there. But a clean pickup and a quick throw, and he was not able to get back across the line in time. So a little bit of inexperience there, I think, from the youngster. And then they both sort of relied on each other for what turned out to be a very suicidal mission.
So Segar Patel comes to the middle. And the Lightning in trouble again. They're batting at 37 for 3. Philadelphians having lost the toss and was asked to bowl first, and things have gone pretty well for them so far. We've seen a good bowling performance from Raj Nanan, 1 for 18 so far, and a couple of balls will finish up his 4-over spell. So he will come in to bowl to Sagar Patel.
Just to emphasize the point, it was the Lightning who won the toss and chose to bat. So after having chosen to bat, the fact that you're now struggling at 37 for 3 with 1 ball remaining inside over number 7, I think indicates that returns have not come the way you've wanted them for the entirety of this portion of the tournament. Dot ball closes things out in a successful over for the Philadelphians. 2 runs coming from the over, 37 for 3 after 7.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Abdul Jabbar comes into the attack. And they're bowling a 37 for 3. Aaron Chenchu is on 14. Sagar Patel is yet to get off the mark. He's only faced 1. So the left arm spinner, here he is to Chenchu. And he drives, tough chance, put down here by Jonathan Fu, the captain. And always was going to be a tough one. Was struck firmly, traveled very quickly to Jonathan Fu, and he fails to hold on. Flicked into the onside, and single here to Chenchu that brings Sagar Patel onto strike. So Brian, you would have missed a very sharp chance put down by Jonathan Fu.
I saw that. It was struck directly into his midriff. Those either stick or they don't. You don't necessarily have time to actually adjudge the line, the length of the ball, and try to catch it. Struck that fiercely. It's either going to stick or it's not.
So Sagar Patel, he's always a top order batter. Oh! Again to the right of Jonathan Fu, and he doesn't hold on. So a couple of chances in this over.
Now this one is difficult, and this one bangs onto the base of his wrist, it looks like. Struck firmly, and you see them calling for medical attention because that never feels good. Once again, diving away to his right this time, and I think that just strikes him on the base of his wrist. Might not be able to pick it up on the replay because, you know, it happens very quickly. But let's just see if we can slow it down enough to see. Yeah, there, diving efforts. Have to give him credit for the attempt, but it might have been the case where he almost dove past the ball and it hits him on the base of the wrist. Once again, I don't know if you've ever been hit like that, but it doesn't feel very good.
So a couple of tough chances of the bowling of Abdul Jabbar. Aaron Chenchu and Sagar Patel both have struck the ball firmly enough in the region of Jonathan Fu. He's failed to hold on. Oh, that's a big strike. That's a lovely shot from Chenchu. And that has gone for a maximum. I told you this man always looking to score big, and this time he picks it up nicely and takes him out of the playing area.
Well, you've cleared the tallest man in the outfield, Drysdale, back at long off. So you know you hit that ball well. He's a young man, U19 player. Aaron Chantru, but makes excellent contact here and gets that ball over the top of long off for big 6.
So they'll pick up runs here again. Ryan Scott, he's quick. Let's look at the throw.
Oh, wow.
Not one of the better ones we've seen, but he got quickly to the ball. And Brian Walters, sometimes as an outfielder, all you need to do is to get quick to the ball and you'll dissuade the batsman from coming for more.
And that also works in reverse. If you sprint as a runner, as a batter, you hit the ball and you sprint, that sometimes puts pressure on the outfielders, and that puts you in the position of being able to generate quick runs that way.
So the ball goes into the direction of Jonathan Fu. 8 gone, is 47 for 3.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So it looks like Anirudh Emmanuel given the ball.
It's actually Aditya Sharma who's going to be bowling left arm spin from around the wicket. U21 player Aditya Sharma bowling now to...
So Sagar Patel on strike, 47 for 3. Aditya Sharma given the ball.
Oh!
So Sagar Patel comes out with a big one and doesn't allow Aditya Sharma to settle. He goes upstairs, and that's a good strike from Sagar Patel.
Very first ball, Sagar Patel settling in and just going big right down the ground. The ball, thankfully for the cars in the parking lot, gets intercepted by the net that is out there. Otherwise, that would have broken a windshield or two in the parking lot.
So into the offside, they scamper through for a couple of runs, one off the overthrow.
I don't know if we can take a look at that again. That run at the shy was taken at the non-striker's end. Look at the non-striker's end. He did not slide his bat in. He only grounded it after getting over the line. If that is a direct hit, he is gone. Advancing down again. And what a great catch in the deep. A diving attempt out there by that fielder on the ropes, coming in off the rope. That is Bhatia, who completes a lovely catch, and the 4th wicket goes down here, Nikhil. 4th wicket goes down, Lenny.
Yeah, good little strike from Sagar Patel. Always looking to score, and what a brilliant effort from Shiranshu Bhatia. He comes up with a good catch. And so 4 down, 55 on the board. Sagar Patel gone.
Yeah.
So Cassius Burton comes to the middle. And he comes in at 55 for 4. Sharma picks up 1. And we've seen a very good bowling display Backed up with very good catching from the Philadelphians. Into the onside ahead of Ryan Scott, and that has gone away for 4. So good start to his innings from Cassius Burton. It's 59 for 4.
Yeah, working this one away. Not a brutal strike, just more placement than power actually. And getting it wide of Ryan Scott. Here just working it off the back foot. Here comes Ryan Scott into your living rooms, but not able to get to that one. So 4 more runs.
So into the offside. This will complete the 9th over. And after 9 is 60 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Abdul Jabbar will continue. Burton is on 5. Aaron Chenchu is on 22. They've lost 4. And you get the feeling, Brian, that the Philadelphians has opted to go to a couple of new players in this lineup, Drysdale being one. We saw him earlier on. And we've seen a bit of Aditya Sharma. So keeping an eye on some fresh talent, looking ahead for the other year, 2024.
That certainly would be the thinking. There's nothing at all wrong with developing talent that you have on display in front of you.
So big shot here from Cassius Burton, and that has gone a long way. 6 off the bat of Cassius Burton. Lovely shot.
Cassius Burton, a tall man with a long reach, so able to wield the long handle. That ball was maybe just a touch too full, not by much, mind you. It's actually a decent looking ball, but the reach that Burton has is able to find it, get that front foot down and go through the line of the ball. Clean strike over long on, and it goes away for 6. And not for the first time today, we see that ball lost in that area going towards Highway 290.
And if by chance a ball gets lost, Brian, does that increase the budget by a ball for minor league cricket?
Well,
is Zubin worried when the budget goes up?
Zubin may be worried, but I don't think you'd have to get a new ball because the sufficiently old ball now that there's a lot of balls around here that would fit the bill for replacement.
I wonder in a tournament like this, starting all across the country, how many balls have really been used. So, want to make a guess?
My guess would be
300.
Over unders probably not so much. I'd say 80. Oh.
Across the country?
Oh, across the country. Well, that's different. I thought you were talking like for this weekend. Couple of runs here. That ball is played wide of long on and straight of mid wicket, allows them to run through for a couple.
And you know, Brian, there are some grounds that are really tough to play on, and so many balls are getting lost. There's quite a few in New York that once it hits to some parts of the ground, you'll never find them.
So exactly sure what the issue is.
So a couple of start and stop here from Abdul Jabbar. A lot of field setting going on. And now we see Deveshwari coming out from a backward square position. He's gonna go all the way to long off. So they've made such a big switch. Garanshu Sharma has been taken out there, so he goes up to short backward square. So into the onside, Cassius Burton will pick up another.
work.
And so 9 in this over so far. So this has been a very good one here for the Atlanta Lightning. The Philadelphians, should they win this game, Brian, and if Cavaliers is to stop Atlanta Fire for the time being, are we looking at 3 teams in with a chance to qualify? Bhatia charges the ball. He comes in quick, preventing a second run.
Yet another direct hit.
And so 10 gone, 70 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So 10 gone, 70 for 4. As Prashad comes into the attack. And Brian, we were just talking off mic. If the Philadelphians win here and Cavaliers win on the other field, what are we looking at?
You're looking at a number of teams with 2 wins. And then you're looking at net run rate needing to separate the sheep from the wolves, the sheep from the goats.
So Prashad comes back into the attack. Oh, that's a good looking shot. Ryan Scott settles under it, easy as you like. And another wicket goes on. Chenchu gone, 70 for 5.
Yeah, Chenchu had been there for a while, 23 from 13, looking very aggressive. Maybe choosing just not quite the right one to flick off his hips. Ryan Scott patrolling this area out here at deep mid-wicket, done it excellently all day. And just lofting a simple catch that Ryan Scott swallows up without much fuss. So here we see on the replay, the ball stays in the air for a while, but Ryan Scott always had it under control, pouches it without much issue. And that is the 5th wicket. Half of the side is down, and only 59, in fact 61 balls bowled, 59 remaining. Question may be relevant as to whether or not the Atlanta Lightning are going to be able to bat out these 20 overs.
So Dexter Sween comes to the middle. Prashad has picked up a couple of wickets, 2 for 7 so far. And Deveshwari Prashad is always among the wicket. We've got 59 balls remaining. We're just into the start of the 11th over. And you look at the card, it's been a struggle to get runs. They're batting a 70 for 5, the Atlanta Lightning. And here is Prashad to the new batter, Dexter Sween. And Sween is driving fluently down the ground. Shiranshu Bhatia, we saw, took an excellent catch to dismiss one of the players. Unmuk Chan, it might have been.
Good looking strike down the ground, by the way, by Dexter Sween. That was a proper off drive. Hit it well, hit it for a single down to long off, but this pair may have to stay there for a very long time to be able to have the Lightning put up a respectable total. Half the side is back in the hutch. I think that, interestingly, now they've brought mid-off inside the circle.
So pulled into the onside. Ryan Scott is there. I've seen Cassius Burton play in New York for several years, Brian. He's a good quality player, top all-rounder. He bowls right arm, leg spin also. But now I think he's concentrating a lot on his batting or to improve what has always been a good thing. A lovely shot from Dexter Sween. And with all the ease in the world, he makes it look so effortless. And that has gone for a maximum. Big strike from Dexter Sween.
Once again, it is a good thing that that net is exactly where it is and that ball crashes off the net and it keeps it on this field. Otherwise, somebody's windshield might have been threatened.
So this over's gone for 9. This is a very good over here for the Lightning. And we got 55 balls remaining, 79 for 5. We've seen a very good strike from Dexter Sween. Are we still looking for the biggest six that we can see on this ground, Brian, in this phase of cricket? Didn't we see one over here? Can't remember who struck that one, but this one into the onside and they pick up a quick single. 11 gun, 80 for 5.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Drysdale comes back into the attack. 2 overs in the mid, none for 12. And Drysdale will come into bowl to Cassius Burton. They've played cricket against each other in New York. Cassius Burton comes out of Villagers when he's in New York, and Drysdale represents Westbury. So that bit of rivalry extends outside of New York, Brian, and comes all the way to Texas.
Well, sometimes it doesn't matter what the records of the opposition teams are, because of those personal relationships. You want to be able to, oh my goodness, almost a return catch, but you want to be able to capitalize on any of those interpersonal rivalries. Obviously good-natured. You're warriors on the field, friends off of it, but you'd never want somebody from the same division or same area to get the better of you.
So we've seen a couple of dot balls here from Drysdale. And a very bustling run of his. We saw earlier on in his bowling spell, did have a little bit of problem with the runner, but he has sorted that out. Slower ball. Darbar allows the ball that could go for a bye. And umpire Brian Keane walks to the square and comes up with a hand signal. The signal's a bye, and it's 81 for 5. 51 balls still to be bowled.
Yep. So having chosen to bat the Atlanta Lightning 81 for 5, the current score projects to about 141, but bearing in mind they've lost 5 wickets, you can't exactly go in as carefree a fashion as they'd prefer.
Flicked away. That's a good looking shot from Sween. Fielder does well to keep the ball in play. Might be Derek Narain out there. And Brian, for all our viewers who are watching, and when you look at the pictures right now, you see some vans in the background. And for our viewers, these vans are protected by a high net, as Brian keep mentioning, right by the parking lot. So it might be difficult for the ball to hit that van because that van is closer to the net. But in addition to that, that van is not as close as you think. And you'll have to really hit it a long way without the net to really hit the van. But we have seen some big shots. We saw not too long ago one striking the net off the bat of Dexter Sween in the previous over. But it's not as close as you're seeing it on film.
Yep. Looking at it here with the naked eye, from the boundary to that car, those cars you see is about 20 yards. Flipped around the corner for a single. That should be the single that closes things out in over number 12. After 12 scores 83 for 5.
So Abdul Jabbar, 2 overs, no man, none for 20. We saw in 1 over that he bowled Brian Walters. A couple of tough chances put down, all into the hands of Jonathan Fu. And so he comes back, direct hit, and now they're gonna scamper through for what is pretty legal in cricket, to allow you to run off a deflection or a ricochet.
I neglected to tell you the other rule yesterday that I want to change in cricket. If you hit the stumps directly as a fielder, you should not be allowed to run extras, as this is hammered down the ground, a single. Because essentially what you're doing is punishing the fielder for having an accurate arm. Ryan Scott sprinted 20 yards to his left, a direct hit from about 50 yards away, but it does remain a live ball. For me, if you hit directly, that ball is dead, because you're essentially punishing the fielder for a brilliant piece of fielding.
So playing a miss and an appeal from Rajdeep Darbar, no says Brian Keane. Score remains at 86 for 5, overs gone for 3 so far. And Brian, you look at Dexter Sween. And we were talking about hitting the ball into the parking lot. This man can really strike this ball long. Isn't he built for someone that you probably could tell that if he hits this ball, this ball will stay hit?
Yeah, look at his arms. He's a very solidly built man, very tall. Absolutely gives that gives that vibe. And you see him winding up there, checking the stroke at the last minute.
Yeah, you've got to give credit to Abdul Jabbar.
Yep.
We are looking for that big hit.
Yep.
But Jabbar probably just back up a length delivery. Let's see the final ball. Sween on strike. Oh, Sween wants the strike. He gets a single off the final ball. And it's 87 for 5 at the end of 13. Brian, are you suspicious when batters take a single off the last ball? We'll talk about that.
Am I suspicious when they take a single? Under most circumstances, it's non-consequential. Now, if he is on, I don't know, 49 and or on 48, you take a single to get to the end to make sure that you face the strike on the beginning of next over. Or, same situation except you're on 98. Under those circumstances, I might sort of give you a bit of a side eye. But other than that, at this stage, you need to be picking up singles anyway. So certainly nothing uncharacteristic about that.
So Sween will be on strike. Shiro Bhatia has been given the ball. We haven't seen him do a lot of bowling in this phase of the competition. but he's been part of the Philadelphians bowling lineup. In fact, last year he would have started off by getting a 5-wicket in Philadelphia's first game. And so he's been given the ball. So Bhatia comes into Sween. Sween gets a single and brings Cassius Burton onto strike.
I'm interested in seeing how far this pair can take things. Both of them well built. Both of them seem like they give it, as they say, a good tonk. And you chose to bat first in a game where essentially this is the last game of the season for you. Why not just have some fun and, as they say, let the ball fly?
So wide is the call from umpire Brian Kane, and second ball into the over. Bhatia has gone down the leg side. There's no hiding going down the leg side now. Did you play in the days, Brian, when you probably could run a few balls down the leg side? It's called negative bowling, but you got away with it. High in the air, it goes into the direction of Jonathan Fu. And he never got close to that one. They'll come back for a couple of runs.
Yeah, Jonathan Fu kind of drifting after that one as opposed to sprinting after it. Don't know that he read it perfectly. Again, windy conditions, that ball is swirling a little bit, so it would have been difficult to judge under ordinary circumstances. But it seemed like that ball was always blowing away from Jonathan Fu.
So 4 in the over so far. And Cassius Burton picks up another run and brings Dexter Sween onto strike. And Brian, we're getting word that Dexter Sween has some cricketing relations to him. And it's out of Trinidad and Tobago, DJ Bravo. So close relations to DJ Bravo, as our producer, our good friend and our producer Roddy Lalman is letting us know. And I'm waiting for a big shot from Dexter Sween. I know he can hit the ball. 6 in this over so far.
Well, feels like there is a lull in this innings. And to the extent that when you won the toss, you'd have been looking to put a decent score on the board. I'd like to think that at some point these two will push towards something resembling an attacking approach.
So Burton gets a run and brings the hard-hitting Dexter Sween. Still looking for a big shot from Sween. We saw one in a couple of overs ago, but we want to show our viewers how close or how far this field is. So 7 in this over so far. Shiro Bhatia has been given a chance with the absence of Liam Plunkett.
Yep. Oh.
So single to close out the 14. So 14 gone. It's 95 for 5. So the action continues, 95 for 5. Sweeney is on 13, Burton is on 24. They have posted a 25-run partnership. We come down to 36 balls. And Brian, we have seen some trickling of support for some teams. And for the team that have really traveled far, they themselves are brought in a handful of spectators. Here we go. These are from the Philadelphians, Daniel, Theron, and Mark. They have traveled all the way from the state of brotherly love, Philadelphia, and they're here decked out, and they're here to see their boys play in Texas. So we want to say welcome to them, and delighted that you have joined and you have followed your team all the way to the state of Texas. I hope your trip will be a wonderful one here.
How wonderful is it that the Philadelphians in particular can build such a fan base? You know, they do many things in the community in Philadelphia that engage with the broader community. And selfishly for me, Lenny, for somebody who is so interested in development, the few fans who I've seen around today are not traditional cricket fans. They are quote-unquote Americans who just seem to have been exposed to the game and want to keep following it. That's something that really makes me feel good down the ground toward Long On. And in fact, you saw earlier Toby also traveling here from a long distance to come follow his team that played this morning. And that's the type of activity that you want to see that will help growing the game in this country.
And Brian, as it relates to the Philadelphians, every year they have something called the Philly Cricket Festival, which is really a well-attended event. The 15th over comes to a close. It's 99 for 5.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So 99 for 5, a partnership of 29. Borton and Dexter Sween out in the middle. Bhatia will continue. Important game for the Philadelphians. Tugged into the onside, looking for a couple of runs. Fila does well to stop the ball. And they come back for a couple of runs. And Brian, at the toss, you mentioned 3 W's for the Philadelphians. They need to win, wait, and watch.
Well, they bat well and they bat deep. So, as of right now, the Atlanta Lightning, with that single, of course, bringing up the 100, they're essentially in position right now to score around 132 unless this pair accelerates. Short delivery, skied, keeper after it. Oh my goodness, he does not take it. Almost seemed like his feet got tangled up right at the very end before he was able to try to take that catch.
Brian, I thought Rajdeep Darbar ran back, but I think he got distracted by that fielder running in. We'll take a look.
Short delivery, skied. Keep an eye on the keeper coming in from the left of your screen. No, he just lost his footing. The fielder was well clear of him by a few yards, just losing his footing there.
So a couple of runs off that ball. They pick up 1. Dexter Sween comes back into strike. Silva's gone for 5, and you get the feeling that both Borton and Sween are beginning to realize with 27 balls remaining, Brian, is to have a go.
Yep.
As we come down to that end, that zone, that time in which you want to give it all that you have. 27 balls remaining. We've seen Dexter Sween, who looks like he can really take this ball with some bit of ease out of this park. Pace off, a good delivery here from Shiru Bhatia. And this over's gone for 6. Burton back on strike.
Well, do you start thinking now about pushing on toward a competitive total? Do you want to start trying to accelerate from here? This pair has been together for a while. Sween 15 from 14, Burton 31 from 26. In fact, that Sween 16 from 15. Smashed down the ground, but a single.
And so we're still waiting for the winner for the Atlantic Conference. Dallas Mustangs have settled the score from the Pacific side, and so we're still waiting on the result on that Atlanta Fire and Somerset Cavaliers game. It becomes a straightforward one if Atlanta Fire wins. Dexter Sween.
Oh.
Big strike into the onside, and I told you he can hit the ball and hit them far.
This one, again, probably much more in the slot than he would like, Abdul-Jabbar. And he goes for a ride down the hill. Take a look at this. In fact, my apologies, that's Batia. Short and hammered. Sailing well and truly over the top. Dexter Sween extending the long handle. That is 6 to close things out here and over in number 16. The score is 112 for 5.
So 112 for 5, 24 balls remaining. So Prashad will continue, Brian. And Brian, we saw in the two matches that the Philadelphians have played on this pitch.
Brian Scott takes it easily. Hammered straight to him. It was hit well, it was hit hard, but straight to Ryan Scott, moving a few yards to his left and taking it with ease. He has done really good work in the outfield today, and another catch for him. Actually dragged from outside the line of off and hammered. It was actually hit very hard. But Ryan Scott, you're not getting anything through him out here in the deep. Lovely catch here by Ryan Scott.
So Prashad picks up his third wicket, bowling a 3 for 17. They have lost 6, 112 for 6. So Junaid Siddiqui comes to the middle. Leg spinner out of Canada. And he comes in here, Brian, with 23 balls remaining. A big partnership came to an end with the departure of Cassius Burton, a 42-run partnership. And so Prashad bowling at 3 for 17 so far. So ball cut away into the offside. And Brian, remember the number. Remember the number when Philadelphia, when the Philadelphians play on this ground. 119.
Emergency.
And folks, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll let the cat out of the bag. We saw in the couple of games that the Philadelphians have played here, 119 were made. Oh, cut away. That's a lovely shot from Junaid Siddiqui, and that has gone away for 4. So it's 116 for 6. And Junaid Siddiqui, he gets off the mark with a 4.
Yeah, just opening the face. Let's give him credit for doing that on purpose. Opening the face and running it. There's a man at slip and there's another man at backward point. But as long as you pierce that gap, there's nobody in the deep, no deep third. And I'll tell you, though, you'll take those runs as much as you can get them. 116 on the board. The score right now projects to 142 if you're able to bat the rest of the way at that same scoring rate of 7.10. But to the extent that you have to be careful because there's not much batting to come, I don't know how carefree you can play here.
So 20 balls remaining, and just for our listeners, we're talking about 119. The fact is the Philadelphians have played 2 matches here. In their match against the Somerset Cavaliers made 119. When they played the other day, they made 119. So
that's it. So there's a consistency about that number for some reason.
It might be 139 today.
Oh my goodness. Oh, how embarrassing is that? I don't know that the scoop shot is the best weapon in your arsenal when you have 22 balls to go and only 4 wickets to come. Well, now you only have 3 wickets to come because Junaid Siddiqui tries the scoop shot, has it embarrassingly come off of his body. He ends up on his backside, and the middle stump ends up going for a walk. Looking to scoop that ball, and my goodness. I said the middle stump. It was really the leg bail that went for a walk. But either way, the stumps are disturbed. The 7th wicket goes down. Really ungainly looking shot, and it nets him exactly 0 runs, and it costs him his wicket.
So Prashad picks up 4 for 21. As Neve McNally comes to the middle, 19 balls remaining, final ball in this over. Dexter Sween is at the other end. And that's a good delivery, good bowling here from Prashad. Prashad has picked up 4 for 21. 17 gone, it's 116 for 7.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Drysdale will continue. 3 overs, no made, none for 14. And will come into ball to Dexter Sween on 22, 18 balls remaining. And Brian, I'm backing Dexter Sween for a big swing.
I dare say that is a safe bet. 18 deliveries left.
Into the offside. Good start here from Drysdale. And 17 balls remaining, 117 for 7.
Good to see Drysdale getting a chance to finish out his spell.
So a couple of changes for the Philadelphians. We saw Liam Plunkett out. And the likes of Drysdale has come in. Shirobati has been given a few overs. We saw Aditya Sharma coming in. And so Neve McNally, a man who also comes out of Westbury, the same team. No, there's a big appeal. He's out caught behind. So Drysdale comes in and he picks up his first wicket, caught behind. Rajdeep Darbar takes a regulation catch. And that's the end of Neve McNally. 117 for 8.
Neve McNally goes. This is the more of what I want to see consistently from Drysdale. Gets that ball right in the right area there. A lifting ball on a fourth stump line, that's exactly what your stock ball needs to be as a fast bowler. Looking for the big drive, McNally, not able to get anything on it. And that little bit of a feather goes right through to the keeper. Safe as houses, 117 for 8.
So Abdullah Quadri comes to the middle. And they've got 16 balls remaining. They're batting at 117 for 8. And Brian, you never know where that 119 number.
We're back to the 119. If this is a wicket, if this next ball is a wicket, okay, let's just see what happens here. Yorker. That was Yorker skied in the air. Oh, I'll tell you what, had Long On been back on the boundary, Long Off been back on the boundary, may have had a chance, but it sails away over his head anyway. It goes for 6. So unfortunately, Lenny, you will not see it today. Your famous 119 as the score now goes up to 123 for 8.
Yes, Brian, this is a lovely shot from Abdullah Quadri. Picked it up well, hitting straight.
Yep.
And it clears Long Off by a few yards. That's a lovely strike.
Oh, going down the leg side now, Brian Kane indicating that he'll have to re-bowl that one.
Yes, Brian. Brian, I get concerned when you get into this betting frame. Because yesterday you're betting your fees. And I wonder what you'll bet next.
I'm keeping my money in my pocket this time, Lenny. My money stays safely where it is. Oh.
So it looks like Derek Narain
Good catch.
has settled under it, and he gives you the Shikhar Dhawan send-off. So Abdullah Quadri, he comes, faces a couple of balls, and he disappears in the shade. Another wicket goes down, 124 for 9.
Faces one delivery once again. It's the type of line and the type of length that will allow him to achieve success. Lofted in the air, and there you see the Shikhar Dhawan celebration. So we're 1 wicket away from this innings being ended, with 2 balls, make that 3 balls remaining here in over. In fact, it should be, yep, 3 balls remaining here in over number 18 rather. Don't know whether or not that's accurate. I believe the scoreboard may be behind.
So 17.4 done.
Right.
It's 124 for 9. Drysdale has picked up 2. He's bowling a 2 for 22. A new batter comes to the middle. We'll pick up the new batter, but for now, here is Drysdale. Starts to moving. It's 124 for 9. Bit of an inside edge, and look at that. Runs down straight. Abdul Jabbar, as fast as he is, can't get around in time, and that's 4 runs.
Well, can't get around in time, and he's certainly not going to get around if you take a few steps the opposite direction initially. So he didn't read it coming off of the bat. Took a few steps to his left, and then realized it was going the opposite direction. Good old-fashioned French cut that time. And it comes off of the inside edge. Abdul Jabbar taking a couple steps to his left. Then it was too late to recover to get all the way back over to deep fine leg. Ball runs away for 4.
So I wonder if Simhadri, in fact it is him. Ball cut away into the offside, running quickly. Well, in fact, wanting to run, but no, says Dexter Sween. And so 18 gone is 128 for 9.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So big strike from Dexter Sween. Oh. Bhatia has taken a well-judged catch. And Prashad picks up 5. He's bowling a 5 for 21. The innings comes to a close at 128. Brian, look at this.
Big strike, but it gets more height than distance, goes in the air for a long way, and really well judged out there at long off. Look at this athletic piece of work, just making sure that he stays inside the ropes. Actually, that ball, he was not as close to the ropes as he might have thought. More than enough room to complete that catch and stay in bounds. So that is the end of the innings. One delivery into over number 19. The Atlanta Lightning, after having chosen to bat, are bowled out for 128. Not the best of looking scorecards. Unmukchan 12, Aaron Chenchu 23. Cassius Burton pick up the batters, 32 from 28. Dexter Sween had a few blows, 23 from 18, but the rest all fell apart. And the small matter of 128 runs scored. The bowlers dominated by the third name on that list, Deveshwarya Prasad, 3.1 overs, 5 for 21. So a 5 for him, 1 wicket each for Rajnanan and Aditya Sharma. Rajnanan in particular bowled very well inside the power play. And then one Roy Drysdale, 4 overs, 2 for 26. Showed a lot of pace, and once he got his length and line right, was very effective. So that means that we'll take a quick break from here in the Prairie View Cricket Complex for the last 20 overs maximum of the year in the minor league season here in Prairie View. After this, the action moves on Sunday to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium for the finals between the Dallas Mustangs and one other team to be determined. There's your quick summary. Burton, 32 from 28. Chenchu, 23 from 14. And Sween, 23 from 18. The bowling dominated by Prashad, 5 for 21. And Drysdale chipping in with 2 for 26. Quick break for us from here at the Prairie View Cricket Complex. We'll be back in about 15 minutes.
They'll be hoping that if they win this one, Brian, and if Cavaliers. So strike. That's a lovely shot from Mark Parchment over the off.
There. Oh my goodness. That is going to go for 4. That was almost a spectacular catch, taking it.
Oh, that's lofted in the air. Goranshu Sharma comes in.
Stock delivery. So sliced away for 4. That's going to be 1 bounce and over down to deep turns there. Oh, heads up.
So this time.
This is coming right in this direction. Hey, what a beautiful catch taken by Zubin.
So ball pulled into the onside. Catch taken.
Oh, gone for all money. He would have been gone for all money, and I'll tell you what, they could have gone to.
So he guides this one away, passes the slip area, and that has gone away for 4. So Aaron.
You gotta be kidding me. You have.
Oh, that's a big strike. That's a lovely shot from Chenchu. And that has gone for a.
Oh.
So Sagar Patel comes out with a big one.
Advancing down again. And what a great catch in the deep. A diving.
Into the onside ahead of Ryan Scott. And that has gone away for 4. So good start to his innings from Cassius.
Developing talent that you have on display in front of you.
So big shot here from Cassius Burton, and that has gone a long way to the attack. Oh, that's a good looking shot. Ryan Scott settles under it, easy as you like. And what has always been a good thing. A lovely shot from Dexter Sween. Dexter Sween. Big strike into the onside, and I told you he can hit the ball and hit them far on this pitch.
Ryan Scott takes it easily, hammered straight to him. It was hit well, it was hit hard, but straight to Ryan Scott, moving a
19 were made. Oh, cut away. That's a lovely shot from Junaid Siddiqui, and that has gone away. 9 today.
Oh my goodness. Oh, how embarrassing is
It's
that?
very the same team. No, there's a big appeal. He's out caught behind. So Drysdale comes.
Oh, the Yorker skied in
shot.
the air. Oh, I'll tell you what, had Long On been back on the boundary, Long Off been back. Oh,
So it looks like Derek
good
Narain
catch.
has settled under it. Bit of an inside edge, and look at that. Runs down straight. Abdul Jabbar, as fast as he is. So big strike from Dexter Sween. Oh.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
So we are ready for play. 129 is needed from 120 balls. Ryan Scott and Derek Narine has come to the middle. And Derek Narine will be the man on strike. We'll pick up the bowler here. So Abdullah Quadri has been given the ball. And Brian, it's not 119, but it's 129. There's still a 9 in this equation.
Just one digit off of your magic number, Lenny. 129 runs should not, you would think, give the Philadelphians a lot of trouble. Would you not agree?
And you look at Ryan Scott, and he really needs a score in Texas. Scores of 18-1. This is their third game on this pitch. And Ryan Scott will want to enhance that reputation, Brian, by getting a big score, making a mark before he leaves.
In the minor leagues 2 seasons ago, Ryan Scott scored 100 against the Houston Hurricanes in field number 5 over our shoulder. He scored, if I remember correctly, about 120 in about 50 balls. It was absolutely brutal. He's very aggressive. It's a good matchup up front. Oh.
So he gets a very good ball from the left-hand fast bowler. Look at that. Runs here for Ryan Scott straight away, and he picks up a couple of runs.
Great start, and I think I agree with you. I want to see Ryan Scott score heavily. I've seen him score runs before. Of course, for the time being, he was in the U.S. national team. Has fallen out of favor with the selectors in recent times, but a really aggressive, high-class player. And he's the type of power pack player who can hit big and is a really exciting player to watch.
So very good start from Abdullah Quadri. And Brian, you know the Atlanta Lightning does have a option of going for 2 quality left arm seamer. Simhadri is another one. And it looks like Abdullah has a little bit more pace than Simhadri. Simhadri, of course, a lot more variation. He comes down the track and the ball goes through to the keeper. So not a bad start to this over from Abdullah.
I think your analysis of both bowlers is exactly right. Abdullah Quadri seems to have the pace. They're built similarly. Maybe a little bit more stocky is Quadri, but they're a similar height. But Fani Simhadri is a little bit more slingy and is able to show you much more variation. So far, based on the 3 deliveries we've seen from Quadri, he's more of a hit-the-deck type of a bowler. Oh, last ball was a wide. We missed that. Hammered for 4. That's the Ryan Scott that we want to see batting. My goodness, in the slot and drilled through extra cover for 4.
Yeah, lovely shot from Ryan Scott. That's what he does. That's how he bats. He scores very quickly, and look at this, all along the ground, very fast outfield. And once you miss your mark, Ryan Scott is gonna capitalize. It's 7 for no loss. We're in the first over. They require 129 to win. And so far, out of that 129, Brian, they've started by putting 7 on the board so far. We've seen a wide in this over off the bowling of Abdullah Quadri. Oh, flicked away. That's a lovely shot from Ryan Scott. And no man move. And they'll pick up a boundary. So not a good looking shot from Ryan Scott. Couple of 4s consecutively.
Yeah, very riskless, a risk-free shot. At this stage of the innings, the only 2 fielders allowed outside are at deep third and deep fine leg. So Ryan Scott just able to access that area over mid-wicket. Once you get it up and over the infield, essentially you're looking at scoring very freely in that area. So 11 on the board already, just the deficit reduced to 118.
So it comes off the edge, falls in front of the fielder. And so 12 off the over so far.
Yeah, a bit of a false shot that time. Ryan Scott defeated in flight. Ball didn't quite carry all the way down to deep third. Sagar Patel thought he was in with a chance for a while, but that ball falls short of him. So Ryan Scott, 12 runs against, make that 11 runs against his name from 5 balls faced so far. Derek Narayan now to take strike for the first time.
So we've seen a couple of fours in the over. Ryan Scott has gone up to 11. Narayan on strike for the first time. And he gets off the mark, looking for a couple of runs. They're running quickly. And they'll come back for 2 good running. First over comes to a close. It's 14 for no loss. Big applause from the Philadelphians.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Sween comes into the attack, starts well with a dot ball. Starts well with a dot ball. 11 still for Ryan Scott, and they need 115 from 113 balls. And Brian, we come back to this runner ball scenarios.
Yep.
That hasn't been so easy as you think. It looks like that's the new T20 complications. Allowing the ball to go through, called a wide. So we've seen a couple of wides in the innings so far. We saw one off the bowling of Abdullah. Now we're seeing one off the bowling of Sween.
Sween powerfully built. Almost like somebody like, I don't know, it's hard to think of a Patrick Patterson from back in our day. Very powerfully built, strong through the shoulders, maybe like a Shannon Gabriel in more recent times. That's going to be an outside edge, and he's walking. Ryan Scott disappears. Disappointing end to the innings for Ryan Scott. 11 from 6. We're looking for him to take charge and keep batting deep into the innings. That dismissal would have frustrated the likes of Theron, Mark, and Theron's wife, Danielle. Come all the way down here from Philadelphia to see the team. Waving at that one is Ryan Scott, but just having that ball tickle off the outside edge and safely into the hands of wicketkeeper Unmuk Chand. So the first wicket goes down. Ryan Scott, 11 from 7 with 2 boundaries. The score is 15 for 1. So Rashdeep Darbar is the new batter. Wicket keeper batter. And a left-handed batter also. That's the reason why umpire Owen Brown is making the trek from square leg to square leg. And Sween, having found success here in his first over, conceded 1 run that via wide, but he's already taken a wicket. In fact, my apologies. He's not a lefty. Owen Brown probably just avoiding looking directly into the sun, which is why he's come over onto the western side of the ground so he can be looking east. Either way, it's going to be a couple of, in fact, 1 run from that single all the way down to mid-wicket.
So Narayan comes back into strike. They've lost Ryan Scott. And so Scott in 3 games here. Brian has made 18, 1 and 11. And so Derek Narayan on strike. Still 113 needed from 111 balls. Sween has picked up the important wicket of Ryan Scott.
Big wave and a miss. Right-handed bowler bowling what I always think of as the better angle, going over the wicket to the left-hander, slanting it across him. An angle creates, under this occasion, a miss. Swipe and a miss outside off by Derek Narayan. Derek Narayan has been there for a long time, but has only faced 2 deliveries, if you can believe it. We're into the second over. Going past him. That's a good take by Unmuk Chand. The ball appeared to move back in off the seam. I want to see what that looks like on the replay, because Unmuk Chand actually coming and diving to his right. Look where this ball goes. Cutting back in, cutting him in half, and then Unmuk Chand diving over to his right. It's a good delivery, snaking in off the seam, cutting Derek Narayan in half. So he's faced now 3 deliveries, still only 2 runs against his name. Oh, half-hearted appeal for LBW, only one of them appealing. And here we'll see the signal coming up now from umpire Brian Kane, indicating that that is a leg bye. Just 2 balls remaining now in over. In fact, that is the end of the over. That happened more quickly than I realized. Lenny. It's been a long week, Lenny. 2 overs up, 17 for 1.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So Abdullah Quadri will continue. Narayan on strike. And ball driven into the offside, can't score, and so we come down to 112 from 107 balls, asking 6.2. They're going a 7.8. And that is because we have seen a couple of big strikes from Ryan Scott. In one particular over, we saw a flurry of boundaries. But now he's back in the shade, and you're watching Narayan facing up to Abdullah. Ah, he's gone.
Great delivery. What an absolutely brilliant delivery. That was actually very quick. Quadri, we talked about how he compares to Fani Samhadri. Many yards of pace quicker, and that ball leaping up at Derek Narayan, kissing the edge and going through to the safe gloves again of wicketkeeper, batter, captain Unmuk Chand. So the second wicket is down. Philadelphia struggling at 17 for 2. See on this replay now. Look at this ball. Bite up, kissing off the edge, and it has to be said, those are ones that you can leave on either line or on length. He did not have to play at that one, Derek Narayan. Choosing only to fend at it getting a thick edge on McChand, diving away to his left, and Pouch is a pretty straightforward chance. So he'll not want to see that one when he gets back to the hotel room. Derek Narayan, 3 from 6. Darbar at the opposite end, the non-strikers end, 1 from 1. And again, Phil is struggling, 17 for 2. Just a word again. How wonderful is it, and you mentioned it earlier, how wonderful is it that the Philadelphians have a traveling fan base such that they leave from Philadelphia all the way down here, booked tickets to go to Grand Prairie because that's where they thought the playoffs were going to be, then heard the playoffs were going to be down here in Prairie View, drove down here, are driving back to Grand Prairie for the final on Sunday, and then flying back to Philadelphia. That is Theron, Theron's wife Danielle, and Mark. Tremendous support shown for the Philadelphia cricket team by those 3 faithful fans.
So Jonathan Fu comes to the middle, and he's all tangled up by some very good bowling here from Abdullah Quadri. He has picked up the wicket of Derek Narain, caught behind, Unmuk Chan donning the glove. And so 17 for 2, it's 112 needed from 105. A chance for the Philadelphians to win and see what happens. If the Atlanta Fire wins against the New Jersey Somerset Cavalier, well, it's all over for everybody else from the Atlantic Conference. But once Cavaliers can really come up with a victory there, then it's a slightly alive for the likes of Atlanta Fire, of course, and then Cavaliers, and then, of course, the Philadelphians in with a chance. You never know. And Jonathan Fu on strike. And the ball foolish outside the off stump. Umpire Brown has a keen look and says that one is a fair delivery, and the score remains at 17 for 2 in the third over.
Umpire Brown, the birthday boy, celebrating that milestone today. One of the better umpires that you'll see anywhere. Very full delivery. The first time that pitches is well past the stumps, but obviously the line of it was such that it was inside the guideline that the umpires used to make that decision. Hammered away by Fu. One bounce and goes for 4. That is a good looking stroke by Jonathan Fu, who is a naturally aggressive batter. So that is the first time that he cashes in, that he had faced 3 dot balls before that, cashing in on that last ball of over number 3, 21 for 2.
So 3 gone, 21 for 2, 108 from 102 balls. Dexter Sween will continue. Darbar on strike. on 4, Darbar is on 6. And we're still into the power play. Dexter Sween has shown us this afternoon, Brian, that he's really a good player. We saw him. He's really built for T20 cricket, can score quickly, can hit the ball hard and far.
Yep.
And so far, he's looked to be a capable new ball bowler. He's bowling at 1 for 7. Oh, look at that. Up and over from Jonathan Fu, and is going to run away for 4. So the captain, Jonathan Fu, picks up a boundary. It's 30 for 2.
Playing this one off the back foot, Jonathan Fu. Here you see an indication here. In fact, just kind of making room, clearing the front leg and going over the top. Good long chase by the fielder running back from mid-off, but not able to get back. And now, in fact, they've put the mid-off back on the boundary to long off. Still inside the power play. Still another 2 overs and 2 balls remaining in the power play. Deep mid-wicket coming in. That is Chanchu. And so your field is outside of the power, out of the circle, or at long off and deep point. So that tells me he'll be keeping it on an off-stump line, probably on the fuller side as well.
So we've seen 9 runs in this over so far, a couple of 4s, one off the bat of Darbar and one off the bat of Jonathan Fu.
Yeah.
That's a very good offer, I tell you that, Brian. Sometimes you hope those would connect. They look very good if you get some bat on that.
He gets away with that. The field is not set for that type of delivery. That lifting ball, any edge on that flies over short third and it goes away for 4.
So wide is the call from umpire Brian Kane. What happened to Brian Kane's camera?
I am assuming that because it is so hot and you don't want to be restricted, you're already out there on the field. It is air temperature, not as hot as it's been. We're in September now, so it's probably 96, 97 degrees. Still plenty hot in his long sleeves. Brian Kane, I'm thinking, would prefer to not have to deal with his clothes sticking to him, courtesy of that harness that holds the camera. That ball closes things out in over number 4, 31 for 2.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So a 31 for 2. McNally comes into the attack. And Brian McNally used to play and live in New York for a long time. Played for Westbury, the same club that Drysdale comes from. Top edged into the hands of Sagar Patel. And Rajdeep Darbar falls is 31 for 3.
Well, this is starting to feel like a procession, I'm afraid, for the Philadelphia fans. Short into the body and pulling it away, but not getting much control over it, and safe as houses, Sagar Patel.
So another wicket goes down. Raj Nanan is coming to the middle and still 98 to win from 95 balls. So Rajdeep Darbar has picked out Sagar Patel. And McNally, a brilliant start to his bowling spell. He's picked up 1 off his very first ball. And so Nanan comes to the middle. A lot of work to be done. 98 to win from 95 balls. So a couple of good balls in this over. McNally picking up the wicket of Rajdeep Darbar, and now he comes into bowl to the new man, Raj Nanan. Comes down the track, looking for runs, going straight through to Unmuk Chan. Score remains at 31 for 3, Brian, as we welcome you back. 98 to win from 93.
Every once in a while, real life interferes with cricket. I don't know if I told you that we had some hail or baseball size or golf ball size hail in Austin on Sunday night. My car got absolutely smashed, and that was State Farm calling about coverage. So at some point I'll need to get back to that call. Oh.
So he picked it up well, Raj Nanan, and that may have gone upstairs. So a good strike from Raj Nanan. Picked it up well. It was short. And Brian, from a short ball for a batsman to be hitting you straightish, it simply means he picked it up early.
Number one, he picked it up early, but number two, tell me if you've heard this before. If you're bowling around the wicket, you give the batter a chance to get inside the line. Look at this. From around the wicket, you see it as big as houses, and you're able to swivel pull. That ball goes, not often you see a pull shot that goes the long on. So that gives you a measure of how much he saw it and how early he saw it. That same delivery for me from over the wicket presents much more problems for the batter.
So we've seen 6 in the over so far. Look at that. Take 4 more. Short and outside the off stump and punched away from Raj Nanan. 10 in 2 balls. Couple of big shots from Raj Nanan.
Good looking shot. This one, aerial, yes, but you'll take the placement and certainly able to get that one away. You see it on the replay, not really close to that fielder who was at or in the covers, and it sails away for 4.
So 10 off this over. 1-6 and 1-4, all courtesy of Raj Nanan. And he's driving and driving well. Fielder will give chase. I think that ball is traveling quickly. Sweeney can't pull it back. And that's 4 more runs off the bat of Raj Nanan. So 5 gone is 45 for 3. So the other left arm seamer we were talking about, Brian, comes into the attack. Simhadri, no introduction to minor league cricket at all, as this man would have been top of his game last year. Quality bowler.
The thing about Fani Simhadri is that he is a wicket-taking bowler simply because he's an intelligent bowler. He has so many different variations. Led the league in bowling a couple of seasons ago. This season, led the league in wickets. This season, not as many wickets, but actually has a better economy rate this year than he did last year when he led the league. So really tremendous bowler.
So he starts with a dot ball. Jonathan Fu remains. 45 for 3, Narain for 2, Scott for 11, and Darbar for 6. The batter's out. Ball into the offside. Sagar Patel is safe. We've seen him take a couple of catches, Brian. Sagar Patel.
He certainly looks the part in the outfield. Very similar to when Ryan Scott was patrolling the same area of the field, able to cover a lot of ground, moves very quickly across the ground, and really does seem to have a safe pair of hands.
And as it relates to Sagar Patel, and I'm not too sure, hasn't he played national cricket for the US at some point, or might have been on tour?
The name definitely sounds familiar. I stand to be corrected on that, but I think you're correct.
So Simhadri runs into bowl to Nanan. Nanan comes down the track looking for big runs, and Sagar Patel, speaking of, oh! He comes around, did everything right, but the ball seeps through and it goes away for 4.
Yeah, he did do everything right there. Got there in time, sprinted across the ground, but unfortunately at the very back end of that, didn't quite get all the way down and not able to pick it up cleanly. Ball burst through the grasp there. Burst right through the grasps and goes away for 4.
So 50 comes up in the 6th over. And it comes off a misfield from Sagar Patel. Raj Nanan will be quite happy with the result of that one. And so 79 from 86. They require under 6 and over. They're going at almost 9. Up in the air. Fielder calls for it. And look at that. McNally comes up with an easy catch, and Raj Nanan gone. Philadelphians have lost another one. They're 50 for 4.
There you see evidence of why Fani Simhadri is such a good bowler. Slower through the air that time, and it's that deception that made Nanan get way out in front of that ball. Look at this. You'll see Fani Simhadri, similar action to the previous delivery, but much slower through the air. And there you see him reach. And the fact that he has to reach for it, playing it early, getting out in front of it, popping up the simplest of catches. And that is Neve McNally, who takes a very simple catch. So Fani Simhadri strikes, and the Philadelphians have lost 4 of their wickets.
So Bhatia comes to the middle. And he comes in 79 to win from 85 balls. They're batting at 50 for 4. Simhadri has added 1 more to his minor league tally. And Brian, you made mention last year, what, top of the heap in terms of most wickets?
Yep. Trench for Bhatia, left-handed batter. Fani Simhadri going to be looking to bowl, I think, in a similar fashion. This is whipped away over the top, though. Gets this one a little bit too straight. Left arm over the wicket, slanting it down the leg side, and just helped on its way by Bhatia. Gets off the mark with an easy 4 going down the leg side. You'll see it here on your replay, just whipping it off of his hips. That delivery from Simhadri, too straight, well too straight. And easy as you like, help yourself to 4 runs. So 4 runs to close things out here in over number 6. The score is 54 for 4. Going back to Neve McNally. Jonathan Fu, 9 from 10. Bhatia has only faced 1 ball. But it was a gift on his hips that he happened to help away over the leg side for 4. And the Philadelphians struggling a little bit, scoring at the rate of 9 and over. So from that standpoint, they have the chase under control, but they've lost 4 wickets. And the target is only 129, so it's not an overwhelming target. But you've stubbed your toe 4 times trying to get to this total. And I think that you'll see that McNally and the rest of the Atlanta Lightning will be looking to do whatever they can to pull things back, to continue to pull things back. McNally bowling to Jonathan Fu.
So ball guided away, easy single, and brings the left-hander Shirobati onto strike. So they need 74 from 83 balls. We're making the point, Brian, that we're still waiting on this Atlantic Conference winner. If the Atlanta Fire can win against Cavaliers, then it's all settled. But if Cavaliers does happen to come away with a win, then, and Philadelphians, if they can get a win here now, it's gonna get quite interesting. 55 for 4, 74 to win from 83 balls.
Oh. Wow. For not the first time today, the zing bales and the stumps light up as Neve McNally knocks back the middle stump of Tran Shubatia. So the Philadelphians are now halfway down. We're just outside of the power play. And you'll see that this is a straight ball that I think is just played across by Batia from around the wicket. Yeah, looking to play that to mid-wicket, slanting in toward him, and he whips it away for 4. Looking to whip it away for 4, but missing out on that, and that ball absolutely cannoning into leg stump. So half of the side is back in the hutch. Batia 4 from 2, faced 1 ball, cashed in, got a boundary. The very next ball, he's clean bowled. So again, that is half of the side that is done with the bat for the day. And Philadelphia is struggling here, may yet just get bowled out in pursuit of a really undercooked total. 129 ultimately is not a very big target, but they've lost half their side and they're not even halfway there yet to the chase. So this is going to be Garanshu Sharma, who's on strike.
So Sharma comes in, 6.2, 74 to win from 82. And 555 on the scorecard, Brian. And ball defended. How good has McNally been?
McNally has shown great pace. He's shown, I think, good control to the left-handers. He chooses the ball around the wicket. There are some instances where that works and others where it doesn't. But you'll never complain about having gotten 2 wickets.
So we've seen Garanshu Sharma being used at the top of the order between 1 and 4. But he has had a lean series, Brian, and he has come in here at number 7. Still, sometimes you come to the crease. It doesn't matter what position you come. Sometimes the workload is still to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at 74 to win from 80 balls, and you know he has a full game ahead of him. I got the feeling that we've seen a lot of batters that have gotten out by playing too rash. And I wonder why it was 74 to win from 79 balls. And early on, we would have seen that the asking rate was just about 6.5 runs and over. And you wonder where was the speed. Good shot from Garanshu Sharma. And he picks up a boundary. That's a lovely shot.
Very nice shot in the slot, just drilling it over the top of extra cover. But to your point, in fact, we'll pick that point up after the over or after the break, because that ball was hammered over the top. 7 overs up, 59 for 5. Here you see on the replay, driven over the top of extra cover. That's a good looking stroke. A couple of bounces, goes for 4. But early or after this break, Lenny, we want to talk about the approach. A runner ball is not that hard, and is Philadelphia going about it the right way? We'll be right back. So, Lenny, you need 5.32 runs and over to score a victory. You have 70 runs to get from 7 to 8 balls. 5 wickets left. Is it not worth your time to be looking to just tap the ball into the gaps and run singles?
So Fu has heard you into the onside, and he picks up a single and brings Goranshu Sharma back on strike. We saw Sharma in other tournaments. Brian was always a prolific scorer, and he has set a bar high enough. And this year, minor league 2023 has not been one of the best years for him. But he comes in here 69 to win from 77 ball. He's got some time to really play himself in. And you made the point, it's almost a run-a-ball game. And so there's always a game to be won. And the likes of Goranshu Sharma, Jonathan Fu out in the middle, and the others to come, if they come, we'll have to come up with plans to get the Philadelphians across the line. We made the point. You win this game, you wait, you watch, and you see what's going on with the Cavaliers and Atlanta Fire game in progress. Into the offside, that's an easy single. So we've seen an over from Simhadri gone pretty well, just a couple of runs. And we made the point, Simhadri was one of the top bowler last year in minor league cricket.
Essentially what the situation demands is just that you keep your head and just pick singles up. Full toss. And again, even though if you absorb a dot ball, it's not the end of the world. All you need to do is just pick singles up. And if you get a bad ball, absolutely feel free to throw the kitchen sink at it. But other than that, you're simply tapping the ball and running singles. That really would be all that's required from here for the Philadelphians.
So into the offside, or straight down the ground. Fielder comes in, can't get to the ball, and that's a good-looking shot from Jonathan Fu. Splitting long off and long on, and that goes away for 4. Lovely shot.
Absolutely lovely shot, and that's why, again, if you get a ball that is in the slot, feel free to drill it down the ground for 4. If you get a ball that's not in the slot, then you do what you need to do to make sure that it stays out. But we sometimes can overcomplicate this game. We have to try to hit big to finish things inside 11 or 12 overs, when that's not necessarily what's called for at this time.
So an over that has conceded 6 runs comes to an end from Simhadri. So 8 gone is 65 for 5. They need 64 to win.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save, because rewards come first.
So 65 for 5. McNally 2 for 19 off 2 will continue. And we come down to 64 to win from 72 balls, 8 overs gone. Jonathan Fu and Goranshu Sharma out in the middle. And Brian, so far we haven't seen a spinner at all here for the Lightning. We've seen Abdullah Quadri, we've seen Dexter Sween, and we've seen Simhadri. 4 bowlers used so far.
Of the 4 bowlers that you've seen, which one has impressed you the most and why?
Well, Abdullah Quadri looks young. He's bowled with a lot of life. I thought his earliest spell was a very good one. Picked up the wicket of Derek Narain. If you recall, I think Simhadri, we know him pretty well. We've seen him a couple of times.
Yep.
Dexter Sween. And I made the point, Dexter Sween is such a good cricketer. We saw he batted well. And Brian, to pick one that was quite impressive, it's going to be tough, but they've all really impressed in some way or the other. Abdullah, with his youthfulness, I think he has a good future. Dexter Sween, he could be a top all-rounder, hits the ball hard and bowls the new ball pretty well. McNally, he's been in with a couple of wickets. He's another very good player. And I'm surprised that the Lightning have not gone further into this tournament with a team like this out in the middle.
I take your point. It is a curious development. They do have talent, some of it raw, but you do have talent up and down the lineup. And, of course, the Lightning themselves haven't won anything yet this weekend, but would have been one of the better teams for the year. That's a lovely looking shot down the ground for one. But it's a matter of coming back next year, putting your nose to the grindstone, or going back to the drawing board, or all the little cliches that you want to come up with. But I think they have enough of a base of talent to be able to just develop it. Next year, I think they'll be looking up from where they are right now, because they are genuinely a talented team. And they do have parts to put into place, but once it all develops, you'll see a really good side.
So this has been a quality over from McNally. He's only given up 1 in 5 balls at a time when the asking rate is about 6 runs and over. So he's really done his part so far. You never know if this ball goes for 6. Well, yeah, then you can say that the advantage is back with the Philadelphians. But if he bowls a ball that doesn't go for 4 or 6, this will be a very good over. Oh, goes down the leg side. Sagar Patel can't get across in time. And so salvaging some bit of pride in the final ball there. 9 gone, 70 for 5.
And yet another boundary goes to the tally for Leonardo Chaibar. Well batted, Lenny.
So 59 to win from 66 balls. 9 gone. They're batting a 70 for 5.
Junaid Siddiqui.
So Siddiqui starts well. A player that has represented Canada at the international level. Quality leg spinner. And Brian, one of the things you will notice, or you may have already seen, when he marks his run, you will never think he's a leg spinner.
Say more about that.
There you go.
My run-up wasn't that long when I was opening the bowling.
Yeah, I've seen him so many times, I recall. I recall at the US Open one time I was doing calm, and when I saw him mark his run, I said the medium pacer comes into the attack. And then I realized this man is a right arm leggy, but he runs off a long way. He gets the ball to skate, he has some variation, and he bowls a very fast googly, I'll tell you that. Now, Brian, we've seen our fair share of the Canadians. We've seen a couple in the last game that we were a part of, Hamza Tariq, and, well, yesterday we saw Gunasakera.
And Nitish Kumar.
Yeah, and a couple have gone on to go to Bermuda. Jeremy Gordon, I think, has been called up. Saad bin Zafar is in Bermuda. We saw Ravinder Paul Singh right here.
Yep. And you cannot forget about Zubin Sukari.
Oh, who took a magnificent catch today. Was that a straightforward catch? Or
That was not a straightforward catch at all. That ball had ice on it when it came down. It went so high. But he judged it to perfection, taking it shoulder height. Palms up the way that the professionals do it. Just the most elegant of catches.
Yeah, we were driving to the ground and I asked him, why isn't he playing anymore? And I'm not too sure, probably, Brian, if that... I asked him if he's playing any cricket or why isn't he playing cricket. And then the other statement is probably the one that he didn't like. I said there's so many legends and master games playing now. So into the offside, and look at that. That has gone all the way off the bat of Jonathan Fu. 10 gone, 79 for 5.
Looking at this replay, dancing down. That's an elegant shot by Jonathan Fu. Dancing down, getting to the pitch, and hitting over extra. Lovely inside-out stroke. Hitting with the turn, the regulation leg break. Cashing in on that one, and 79 for 5 after 10.
So Dexter Sween comes back into the attack. Couple of overs from Sween, 1 for 12. Goranshu Sharma on 8, Jonathan Fu on 26, and so they need 50 from 60 balls.
.50 from 60 you would think would be doable. Small matter of 5 runs and over would seem to not be out of control. And even if you absorb a dot ball here and there, having to score less than a run a ball with 5 wickets in hand, in theory, would be pretty straightforward.
So the slower ball comes out. Easy single here for Sharma. That has taken this partnership up to 25. And I get the feeling, Brian, that this game, the batting style that is required here could suit the style and play of Jonathan Fu and Goranshu Sharma. They're more touch players. Here and there they can give you some big shots, but certainly the big shots not needed.
Played into the covers for no run. I think completely agree with you. This situation does not call for big hitting by any stretch of the imagination. If you want to sort of tell yourself, you know what, we don't have a lot going on, we're probably not going to make it to Dallas as the participants, and you want to throw your bat, that's one thing. But if you're looking to just win this game, you do not require anything other than just to pick singles up.
So Chen Chu comes around, makes a very good stop. And we've seen a couple of runs in this over. Very good over so far from Dexter Sween. And so 48 to win from 56 balls. Of course, like anything else, Brian, when the big shots comes in, it really helps.
Sure.
It makes your job a bit easier, but you've got to play them risk-free.
That's exactly right. The idea is if you get a bad ball, like we say in Jamaica, sail a kite. But if you don't get a bad ball, don't try to make a good ball into a bad ball. And when you do that and you force the issue, that's when you get into trouble.
So 3 runs in this over. This has gone pretty good here for Sween. And he's bowled 2.5, 1 for 15 so far. Has picked up the wicket of Ryan Scott. That was a very important wicket. Pulled away. That's a lovely shot from Jonathan Fu. Fielder comes around. Sagar Patel has had a lot of work to do. And the ball trickles away. And that's 4 runs for Jonathan Fu.
Jonathan Fu getting another short delivery going down the leg side. Not the best of deliveries bowled here by Dexter Sween. Short and going down. Stepping inside the line, helping it behind square. Diving attempt by Sagar Patel, but not able to cut that one off. That's the end of the over. Good over for the Philadelphians. 86 for 5 after 11.
So Junaid Siddiqui, 9 in his first over. And we come down to 43 for a win here for the Philadelphians. We saw them in this phase getting points from Cavaliers, losing to the Atlanta Fire. And now they come to play the third game at field number 1.
Good looking stroke into the outfield. Jonathan Fu now 31 from 23. Garansha Sharma 11 from 17. Bearing in mind Atlanta was bowled out for 128, so you're only needing 129 for victory. Oh, look at this. Oh, he's going to be given. It was well down the pitch, so that would have been the complaint that Jonathan Fu would have had, but Brian Kane convinced that that ball still would have gone on to hit the stumps. Have to have a take a look at that one again. I'll tell you, sometimes if you're far forward as a batter, it is a defense to LBW, but not necessarily always the case. So if you're all the way down the wicket, but that ball still hits you low enough on the pads that the umpire thinks that ball would have gone on to hit the stumps, then you absolutely still can be judged LBW. Here we see the shout. Umpire Brian Kane with the slow finger of death. And that is the end of Jonathan Fu. 31 from 24. The Philadelphians are 87 for 6.
So Aditya Sharma comes to the middle. And that partnership yielding 32 runs comes to an end. Fu gone. And so they need 42 from 52 balls. Aditya Sharma, the left arm spinner. We saw him earlier on, young player. And Brian, we've seen the opportunities given to a lot of young players in this minor league series again this year.
Which you like to see, because the future obviously is in the hands of these youngsters. A lot of them have performed very creditably. Ooh, pushes this one through more quickly that time. That might have been the quicker googling that you were talking about. Going away from the lefty. That actually is a very difficult delivery to play for to get one first up. That would have had his eyes open.
Straight away. So ball given some air, driven into the offside. The youngster gets off the mark and brings Goranshu Sharma on to strike. They need 41 from 50 balls. They've lost 6. And so batting to come, Drysdale, Abdul Jabbar and Prashad. We saw Prashad picking up a 5-wicket haul again in this tournament. Actually may have done so in this phase on Wednesday. Into the onside. They're running quickly. They're gonna challenge the fielder. Looks like Aaron Shenshu is the fielder. And they pick up 140 to win from 49. Where's your money, Brian?
Oh, goodness.
Brian, you have to be careful how you're betting. The last time you were into a bet,
my money is staying in my pocket
You're
because I am sorry.
the other day you were betting your fees. Then maybe one day your house. One day.
No, we're not betting my house. I'm sorry. That is defended in front of the stumps for no run. 89 for 6 after 12.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So Abdullah Quadri has been given the ball again. 1 for 18 so far in a couple of overs. And we'll come into bowl to Garanshu Sharma. They need 40 from 48 balls. Pulled into the onside. Sagar Patel comes around. Always was going to be tough. That ball was traveling. And that goes away for 4. Good shot from Garanshu Sharma.
Abdullah Quadri choosing to go short to start up. But again, that short ball has to be up by the grill for it to do much damage. If it bounces just waist height, then it becomes a much easier ball to handle. Pulling away in the deep. Too much work for Sagar Patel to do running around from square leg. So good positive start to the over. Now just 36 runs needed from the next 46 balls. You would think, if you ask where my money is, you would think that this would be a pretty straightforward victory for the Philadelphians if they don't take any chances.
So into the offside, they pick up another run. Sharma is playing a good hand so far. In fact, 2 Sharmas out in the middle, Aditya and Garanshu. And Brian, we've seen Sagar Patel has had to do a lot of work. It's extraordinary at times. You pick up a position in the field and boy, I tell you, everything happens there. If by chance we decide to move Sagar Patel and put him over there, you want to bet the ball follows him.
He said the ball is following him. Lovely looking shot for no run, but this is really all that is required from this young man and his senior partner, Garanshu Sharma. Aditya Sharma, the U21 player. Saw him bowl spin earlier, as you mentioned. Now, left arm or left-handed batter. It really is just a matter of looking to pick up singles. You can do it very easily with singles. The required rate is all the way down to 4.57 and over. Oh, lovely.
So into the offside, a chance of a run out. But the running was good. They got quickly covering 22 yards. And Brian, it's been a long time we haven't seen a direct hit.
It's been almost 3 overs probably.
And when that happens, the umpires have got their work cut out. Always a tough job. Even we see at the international level, even with technology, how difficult it is sometimes to come up with calls. And you could expect what happens here with no referral system at all, no review system. Sometimes the most you can probably rely on your umpire to give him a glance at square leg and just to see if the catch was taken or not.
Yep.
Or if the ball may have come off the bat or glove. That's the only thing you rely on, and that has to be done very quick.
Yep.
An umpire gives decisions on what he sees, what he knows, what he hears. Into the offside, sees a single. And a single that will close out over number 13, 33 to win.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
So 13 gone, 96 for 6. Brian, 33 to win from 42 balls. Asking 4.71. They're going at 7.3, so way ahead of what is required. Sharma is on 18. Into the offside, and that has gone away for 4. Good looking shot again from Goranshu Sharma from the leg spinner. And that brings up the 100 here for the Philadelphians. 100 for 6.
100 for 6, just 29 now remaining from the last 41 balls. Beautiful strike over the top of extra cover. There you see on your replay, lovely looking shot. Always good to play with the turn and elevate that ball over the covers. Good strike. And that's good cricket also. So you follow up a big shot with just a touch into the offside for a quick single. That is exactly the way that you need to do it. So now, to the extent that you only have 28 more runs remaining and 40 balls in which to get them, the only issue from here is just do not get bowled out. So if you tell yourself you don't lose any wickets, we win this game. Because the only way from now that the Atlanta Lightning win this is by bowling out the Philadelphians.
And Brian, this will really test the young mental capacity of Aditya Sharma and Goranshu Sharma, still learning the game. And it comes down to 27 to win from 39 balls. 6 in this over so far.
So part of this process is going to be just teaching yourself how to win. Sometimes it just comes down to making sure that you're reminded of what doing the smart things to get a victory would mean. Turning this one into the leg side for a single. Yes, it's really that simple at this stage. And now only 26 runs separate them from victory.
So Brian, if you can read the game well, don't you play the game well?
You would think under most circumstances. Every once in a while you might get a rush of adrenaline and do something inconsistent with the objective of winning. But if you're reading the game well, this is well played just for a no single. But most times, if you're able to analyze where you are and just keep a clear head about you should, in theory, be able to take victory without much fuss.
So 7 off this over, 26 to win for the Philadelphians. Sharma is on 3. In fact, Aditya Sharma, we've got to be precise with that. 2 Sharmas out in the middle. And here is Junaid Siddiqui. Aditya into the offside. They scamper for 1. And so when play resumes, Aditya will be on strike and they'll need 25. 14 gone. It's 104 for 6.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
They need 25 to win from 36 balls. We've seen a good partnership here of 17. And Brian, these 17 runs are coming at the right time here for the Philadelphians.
17 runs coming at around a run a ball, which is what you want to see. And to the extent that, you know, they are needing to, as I mentioned, just teach yourself how to win consistently, then this is an exercise that's consistent with that objective.
So Fani Simhadri will continue. 2 overs, no made, 1 for 15.
Fani Simhadri now turning around and coming from the forest end.
And Brian, this is one of the things as T20 bowlers you've got to get used to. I recall in the old in years ago, bowlers used to love one side and stay all day on that side, but not in T20 cricket. We saw today that when Rusty Tehran was bowling, he kept bowling on one side. He was probably one of the exception. Even Carmel LaRue, I did not see him bowling on the bottom end of this ground.
Yep.
But other than that, we've seen where you're needed, you bowl. So wide is the call from umpire Brown.
You're now within, in theory, 4 strokes from this game being finished. What tremendous cricket we've seen this weekend, Lenny. Talent from all around the country right here in Prairie View. Just played out into the outfield for a single. And what a pleasure to be able to witness this type of cricket and minor league cricket in general, and particularly the Super 8 teams have all performed creditably. Even though we had a shortened season this year due to some extent because of the presence of Major League, I think it's still an exciting season, and we have a lot to look forward to in the future.
So 23 to win from 34.
Ooh, gone. Full and straight. Fani Simhadri, once again, the wicket taker that he is, knows how to change things up. Couple were off-speed pitches, and this one full, straight, and fast, and thudding bang into the pads right in front of the stumps. We are sitting square of the wicket, so we'll have to wait on this replay that we're about to see. Left arm over, bang in front, and interestingly, as soon as he gets hit, he immediately moves that front pad out of the line of leg stump, in fact moving it to the side, outside the line of leg. But a good umpire knows where he was hit, not where he ends up. Owen Brown making the decision, and we see again, look at this. Full and straight, gets hit there, and then watch the left or the right foot, make that the left foot, skipping it outside the line, but it was too late at that point because he was already hit in front. Owen Brown, I think, making the right decision there. So yet another twist, Lenny. Do you think that there's any way that the Atlanta Lightning can get 3 wickets before the Philadelphians get 23 runs?
So Prashad comes to the middle.
I like how you ignore questions when I ask them of you.
Yeah, you never know. 23 to win, 33 balls remaining, 3 wickets to fall. And Brian, that ball from Simhadri, you know, Simhadri, he utilizes the change-up delivery, the lack of pace.
Yes.
But that one was a quicker one.
Definitely. And that's why I keep saying he's very difficult to read or difficult to attack, because the run-up is the same, the release of the ball is the same, but there's so many different variations that he has that it becomes very, very difficult a bowler to try to target. And really, I am either of these 2 batters, either Sharma or, in fact, the new batter is now on strike. Full and straight again, that's a great Yorker, but well dug out and just defended into the offside, and they run through for a single.
So 22
this new
to
batter is
Prashad.
Deveshwar Prashad.
So Prashad comes in here. Brian. Prashad, by the way, would have picked up 2 5-wicket haul this week. 5 for 19, 5 for 21. And it comes down now with what he can do with the bat. And one of the reasons they're chasing just a small total, it might have been him who got 5 wickets and really made sure that the Lightning did not get by any means a runaway score.
When it over, this is for Fana Simhadri. 2 for 18 are his figures from 2.4, make that 2.5 overs bowled. Just 3 runs coming from this over, one of which was a wide.
So this has been a very good over here from Simhadri. Only 3 runs off that over. An over in which he picked up 1. So 15 gone. It's 107 for 7. 22 needed from 30 balls.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need 1 hand on the roof, 1 hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
So Junaid Siddiqui with 22 to win from 30 balls. 3 overs, no mid, 1 for 20 so far. So he will finish up here in the next 5 balls. Prashad is on 1. Aditya is on 5. And the Philadelphians, they need 22 to win from 29 balls.
Well, it's all petering out into a pretty tame end to an exciting week's worth of cricket. You know that the Dallas team, the Dallas Mustangs, have punched their ticket to the final on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening in Grand Prairie. Remains to be seen which team is going to come out of the Atlantic. And I know, Lenny, that you're checking the results of the other game that is going on right now. What are you seeing?
So the Atlanta Fire, they need 30 and 3 overs.
13-3 is either easy or hard depending on how many wickets are in hand. How many wickets are in hand?
132 for 7, I think. Corner Dry and let's see, Corner Dry and Ridwan Palash.
Yeah, so that makes it hard.
So 21 to win here, the Philadelphians. Ball stroked into the offside. And Brian, what have you made of Aditya Sharma? Plays correctly. We saw him as a leg spinner, but looks pretty straight. Good technique.
Playing to the situation, it looks like there's no reason to do anything risky. No need to hit big or anything like that. And especially since you're facing up against bowlers who sort of know what they're doing. You mentioned Junaid Siddiqui playing 4 years for Canada and is a man of tremendous skill. So no reason to take any chances.
So quality over so far from Junaid Siddiqui, just a couple of runs and final ball coming up. They need 20 from 25. Oh, that's a good looking shot from Prashad. Could get him a couple of runs. Oh my goodness. Not at this stage of the game. He overruns the ball. And that's 4 runs for Deveshwari Prashad. A bit of a gift.
Yeah, full toss down the leg side. Not a full toss, but a slower through the air down the leg side and sweeping it away. A ball hitting and spinning away from the fielder in the deep. And 4 more. So that is the end of over number 16. 16 runs needed from the next 4. And in fact, here we see on the replay, loopy. In fact, it was a full toss. Loopy and outside the line of leg stump. There. And in fact, it quite didn't just get all the way down to that ball. You probably have to think that he should have gotten that. That is the end of the over. 4 left, 16 to go.
So Brian, so McNally comes back into the attack. Dot ball to start. And so we come down to 16 runs needed from 23 balls. It's 113 for 7. Doesn't time it well, but he'll get a single, Aditya Sharma. And that equation has come down to 15 runs to win, Brian.
Yeah, 15 runs to win. 22 balls in which to get them, so you would think that advantage is to the batting side again, as long as you don't get bowled out. So no more wickets needed, and again you just have to figure out a way to just do this in singles. No reason to take any chances, don't need any rash shots, don't need anything other than just making sure you get over the finish line at this stage.
So not a bad over here so far from McNally. 3 balls into the over. He's only conceded 1. But herein lies the problem, Brian. How much containment can you do with 15 runs needed? You've got to bowl some over with.
Have to take wickets.
You've got to bowl some over with 2 runs.
Oh, whoa! Where did that come from?
Containment.
Do it in singles. Well, there's 6 singles right there. Oh my goodness.
So big strike from Deveshwari Prasad. He goes up to 12 and brings it even easier for the Philadelphians. They need 9 to win this game. 20 balls.
One slamming it just foot to the pitch and lofting it well and truly over long on into the adjoining field. That is a big strike that will make the Philadelphia contingent feel much, much better. Things were looking a little iffy there for a while, but they're that much closer to being able to take victory. So Theron, his wife Danielle, and Mark will all be happy as this is punched down to deep, long on.
Yeah, and this man, Deveshwari Prasad, he's such a handy player. Quality all-rounder. He's gotten 2 5-wicket haul, and he has batted well. He's up to 13. Runs are coming at the right time for him, and the Philadelphians, they need 8 to clinch a victory here in the last round of this phase. Super 8. Sharma remains on 7, and that will complete the 17. So it's 121 for 7. 8 runs needed.
आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
So we're back with the cricket. 8 to win from 18 balls. And Brian, I'm not too sure if there's any relevancy in balls remaining 18. With 8 runs to get, or funnier things has happened in T20 cricket?
Well, who has the ball in hand? Fanis Simhadri. 3 overs, 2 for 18. So he's conceded a run a ball, but he's more than capable of taking wickets. So maybe the only extent to which balls matter is you might tell yourself, okay, 6 of these balls, we're not going to try to attack Fanis Simhadri at all. Just keep it straight, keep it in the V, and if we can take our chances with the other batters, the other bowlers, because we cannot lose any wickets here. Oh, good ball, well defended. And that one was the quicker one.
So Prashad is facing up to a bowler who is bowling the same type that he bowls. And Brian, I wonder if it helps.
There's the slower ball. So he changes, just such subtle changes in pace, in line, in length. He becomes so difficult to play, but to yourself, you have to be saying now, if you're Prashad, yes, he bowls the same way at which I bowl. You could probably make the argument that he does it better than me, but let's just see off the next 4. Oh, that's going to be close. In fact, from our angle, height would never have been an issue, but my sense is that it would be the line that would have concerned umpire Brian Kane. So loud yell, but ultimately given not out. Here we see on the replay from around the wicket, yeah, that is going down. That is missing the leg stump by probably a half a foot. So a good decision there by umpire Brian Kane. 3 more balls left in Fanis Simhadri's spell. Oh my goodness. Oh, had he let that go through for the direct hit opportunity, that may well have been a wicket, but it doesn't matter. They get a single, and now 7 runs needed for victory, and only 2 balls remaining in the day for Fanis Simhadri with the ball.
So quality over from Simhadri, but we make the point, if he wants to bowl economy, he got to bowl 2 runs and over. 3 wickets standing, 7 runs to get. That's how tough it is. Driven into the offside.
Whoa. Ho, ho, ho. Good athletic piece of fielding there by Fanis Simhadri off his own bowling. Let's see what this looks like. With his right hand, quick transfer to the left and shy at the stumps. Doing well to get that back down in time, Aditya Sharma.
So ball cut away into the offside, can't score, so a good over comes to an end. And it's 122, they need 7 to win. So Dexter Sween comes back into the attack. Brian, 7 to win. When does this game end?
It ends in this over, Lenny. It's not going to go 20. 7 runs in 1 over. Dexter Sween has pace.
And you said you stopped betting, right?
I am no longer betting. I am no longer a betting man. But you saw that shot by Devesh Prasad in the last over that he batted from this end, elevating it over long on for 6. I don't know that he'll be looking to do that, but I also don't think that he'll just be looking to push the ball around. I think he wants to get this game over with. You don't want it to come down to the last over. Anything can happen in the last over. From here, I think you just look to finish this game.
So Prashad on strike, 7 to win. Sween comes into the attack. Single to start the 19th over. And that required run, 6 runs to win from 11 balls, Brian.
In theory, pretty straightforward. Again, stranger things have happened. But the Philadelphians kicking and screaming, dragging themselves toward the finish line. And I think it just feels like they may just have enough to inch over the line. Look at this now, bringing the field in at long off, long on, still back on the boundary. Deep third has come inside the circle. There's still a sweeper on the offside, and deep mid-wicket make that deep square leg. Umpire Owen Brown says, please stop appealing because I've already made my decision. A dot ball though, this one sails way outside the line of off. No, I did say this over, Lenny, which is why I don't bet anymore. I would probably have needed to qualify, as we see on the replay, well outside the line of off, waving at that one. To me, that there's a gap between the ball and the bat. Aditya Sharma actually wanting a wide, not given. And here's his next ball. My goodness. So a couple of dot balls after that first single. We're in danger of having this ball going to the 20th over, Lenny.
There's never an early game these days.
He says wistfully.
And so 6 runs to win. 18.3 gone, 1 in the over so far. So still 1 run in the over. How many runs you left for the last over, Brian?
Anything can happen in the last over, so oh my goodness, I'm not sure why you're not just looking to tap and run and get Devanshu Sharma back on strike, Devashwar Prasad back on strike. Short delivery, sailing over the head, not necessarily over the head, but over the attempted pull. Signal is 1 for the over, first by umpire Brian Kane and then by umpire Owen Brown. But it is another precious dot ball. And that means that after a single to start the over, there have been 4 dot balls. And you're now looking at the last delivery of over number 19.
And Brian, news coming out of the other match, Cavaliers have won that game.
Interesting.
So could they be looking for a couple of runs? They settle for 1. So the 19 comes to a close and 5 required in the last over here.
19th come to a close, which means that Aditya Sharma is going to be on strike to start over number 20.
So Abdullah Quadri comes in to bowl the last over, Brian. Are there any more drama in this game? 5 to win. Aditya Sharma, we saw in the last over, struggled to really get bat on ball off the bowling of Dexter Sween. And this game comes down to the last 5 runs. Last over, 7 wickets down.
watch this fielder down here, McNally, at deep, fine leg. Good short ball can be bowled by Quadri. I would not be surprised if he tries it. That's exactly what he tried, but it was going to be too far outside the line of off. But it was not a wide, so it goes as a dot ball, a precious dot ball. And you're playing with fire now if you are the Philadelphians, because you need bat to ball. That is what you need at this stage.
Brian, we've seen Aditya Sharma playing that shot 5 or 6 times.
Just get bat on ball.
He
Run
hasn't.
it down. You don't have to play the pull shot. Just get bat to ball.
So 4 runs to win in 4 balls. And I'm surprised that they've brought this game so close, the Philadelphians. 3 overs ago, we thought we would be out of the park by the 19th over, Brian, but there's never a short game at the park these days.
Now, I think all along, if you're the Philadelphians, you would have wanted Deveshvari Prasad to be the one on strike, which makes me question why you didn't look for a single sometime in the 19th over. But I think that's over and done with now, because you need 4 runs in the next 4 balls. And the field is spread because you know that Deveshvari Prasad is a bigger hitter than Aditya Sharma. So see what he's able to manufacture here. 3 wickets in hand, so that doesn't necessarily matter.
So this will get very interesting. Cavaliers have won. And so what, 2 wins? If Philadelphians win here, there'll be 2 wins. And Atlanta Fire with 2 wins. Into the offside.
So again, just another dot ball, and this becomes that much more difficult. 3 balls to go, 4 runs to get. It is getting more and more difficult here for the Philadelphians, and I'm telling you that you're going to see a very difficult time here. Pressure is building. Here is Quadri again off the bottom edge, and it's going to be a single, which means that 2 balls are left. You still need 3 runs, and it is now Aditya Sharma back on strike.
In this over, 3 to win in 2 balls.
Back here at Prairie View, last 2 balls, short, cut away. It's going to be 4. No, it's just going to be 1. Do they come back for the second? Oh my goodness, they're both going to end up at the same end, and that is going to be a run out. So they get a single, if you can believe it. A single and a run out, which means they need 1 from the last ball of this match to tie the game. Initially off the bat, I thought that was going to be 4, but there's a fielder in the deep. You get 1 run, and they came back looking for a second. I have no idea why that second run was not being attempted. All of a sudden, look at where we are now. 127 for 8. The target is 129, which means from the last ball, you need 1 run to tie. You need 2 runs to win. And the team huddle in the middle for the Atlanta Lightning, because from this 1 ball, you're going to need something big to happen. Drysdale comes to the wicket. That single was taken, and it is now going to be Prashad, who is on strike, to face the last ball. They need 2 runs to win. 1 run ties it. And my goodness, is going to be. This one comes all the way down to the last ball, folks. I cannot imagine that this game would have gotten so close, but here we are. Again, big picture, 1 run to tie, 2 runs to win. If we get that 1 run, I would imagine we'd have a super over. At least that's to be decided. We'll confirm that with the umpires shortly as soon as we can. But first, we have to get through the next ball. So, Abdullah Quadri with ball in hand, facing up to Deveshvar Prasad. You can believe it. Lenny, how did this ball get down to this situation?
Well, I'm surprised, but it doesn't matter now. Here is Abdullah, runs into ball to Prashad. Oh, big swing and a miss.
You gotta be kidding me.
Big swing and miss.
You
And look,
gotta be kidding me.
Lightning have won this game.
By 1 run. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. The Lightning snatching victory out of the jaws of defeat. Abdullah Quadri bowling an absolutely scintillating last over. Only 2 runs coming from that over and 2 wickets. I'll tell you, first of all, there was the run out off the penultimate ball, and then that last delivery was a dot ball. They're trying to steal a bite to tie the game, but all of a sudden it is the case that Unmuk Chan, the captain, collects the ball, calm as you like, and comes up to disturb the stumps to find Drysdale short of his crease. That is the end of the match. If you can believe it, you win by 1 run. So there's the scorecard. Ryan Scott 11, Jonathan Fu 31, Rajnanan 18, Garanshu Sharma 34, and Deveshvar Prasad 16. But boy, they had the game under control for a really long time, but had it slip away from the end, or at the end, the Philadelphians. For the bowlers, Abdullah Quadri, 4 overs, 1 for 28, but he bowled better than that. Dexter Sween, 4 overs, 1 for 21. Viv McNally and Fanny Samadri each taking 2 wickets. Fanny Samadri doing better there in terms of an economy rate. And Junaid Siddiqui, 4 overs, 1 for 26. But the bowlers did their part when it counted. So the Philadelphians fall short at the end. They spit the bit, as they say in the racing game. There's your summary. The Atlanta Lightning, 18.1 overs, 128 all out. And in response, the Philadelphians could not get over the finish line, 127 for 9. So the Philadelphians fall short by the margin of 1 run. That concludes things from here at the Prairie View Cricket Ground. We've been happy to bring you the action from this fantastic facility. That is the end of the play for the weekend. And I'll tell you that one team that is represented in the finals is the Dallas Mustangs, playing at home on in Grand Prairie on Sunday night. And stay tuned to all our social media channels, particularly if you're on Twitter. Find us at MIL Cricket to find out who the other member of the party will be in terms of who joins Dallas in Grand Prairie on Sunday. In the meantime, Brian Walters on behalf of Lenny Achaibar signing off from the Prairie View Cricket Complex. And we will see you in Dallas on Sunday night. Come rain or shine. Good night and good luck.
Oh. So he gets a very good ball from the left-hand fast bowler. Look at that. Runs here for Ryan Scott straight away. And he picks up a couple of runs.
Missed that. Hammered for 4. That's the Ryan Scott that we want to see batting. My goodness. In the slot.
Oh, flicked away. That's a lovely shot from Ryan Scott. And no man move.
Like a Shannon Gabriel in more recent times. That's going to be an outside edge, and he's walking. Ryan Scott disappears.
Oh, he's gone.
Great delivery. What to make that decision. Hammered away by Fu. 1 bounce and goes for 4.
7. Oh, look at that. Up and over from Jonathan Fu, and is going to run away for 4. Top edged. into the hands of Sagar Patel.
Oh.
So he picked it up well, Raj Nanan, and that may have seen 6 in the over so far. Look at that, take 4 more. Short and outside the off stump and punched away. And he's driving and driving well. Fielder will give chase. I think that ball is traveling quickly. Sweeney can't pull it back. Nanan comes down the track looking for big runs, and Sagar Patel, speaking of, the 6 and over, they're going at almost 9, up in the air. Fielder calls for it. And look at that, McNally comes up with an easy catch.
Similar fashion. This is whipped away over the top though. Gets this one a little bit too straight. Oh.
Good shot from Goranshu Sharma. And he picks up a boundary. That's a lovely shot. So into the offside or straight down the ground. Fielder comes in, can't get to the ball. Oh, goes down the leg side. Sagar Patel can't get across in time now. So into the offside, and look at that. That has gone all the way off the bat of Jonathan Fu. Very important wicket. Pulled away. That's a lovely shot from Jonathan Fu. Fielder comes around. Sagar Patel has had a lot of work to do. And the ball trickles away.
28, so you're only needing 129 for victory. Oh, look at this. Oh, he's going to be given. It was well down the pitch, so that would have been the complaint that Jonathan.
Into the offside, and that has gone away for 4.
Ooh, gone. Full and straight, Fantasy Marjorie, once again, the wicket taker that he is, knows how to change things up. Couple were off speed.
Got to bowl some over with 2 runs. Oh,
whoa! Where did that come from?
Containment.
Prairie View, last 2 balls, short, cut away. It's going to be 4. No, it's just going to be 1. Do they come back for the second? Oh my goodness, they're both going to end up at the same end.
Here is Abdullah, runs into ball to Prashad. Oh, big swing and a miss.
You gotta be kidding me.
Big swing and miss.
You
And look.
gotta be.
You're watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.